So just let Stiffy have a wee look as we go down the line. There's the Nardai set up, the 19C. Obviously Sauce is here as well in the 557C. And then we've got the 19C. No friends, no life. Come down to Christchurch, eh?
Pretty much, mate. No family, so nah, I've still got family. Nah, we had a good day on Christmas, and then me and the missus drove on down, and yeah, we're here now. Unfortunately, we got a bit of rain last night, didn't we? So, good to go.
Oh, we might. Oh, well, there you go. Somebody's nice and moist there. And of course, obviously, we haven't seen Scott here tonight, so obviously he's not flatting around, but...
Yeah, he's just here.
Oh, there he is. Actually, is he racing tonight?
Nah, he's not. Unfortunately, he's come across a few issues, and just from the first meeting out, Canterbury Champs, but he's spending a couple of days here and getting it sorted, and he'll be ready for New Zealand, so good to go.
Well, that's probably going to be your next big meeting, isn't it? Not too far away now, and are you ready to go?
Yeah, so we got New Zealand's, that's 2 weeks, and then another 2 weeks we've got 240s, and then another 2 weeks we've got Team Champs, and then another 2 weeks after that we're back down here for South Island Supers, so should be good fun.
It just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Like it never stops, and you get that period between that January and February, and then you're thinking you're just about over it, and then the Battle of Stocks pops up, and then the Super Stock deal in Nelson. So your guys are always going, aren't you?
Yeah, it never stops. Pretty much once you hit December, it's all on from then, and yeah, it just carries on through. It's a good sport though, eh? We love it. So I think this is my 19th season straight, so it's good fun.
You're obviously not getting out of there in a hurry though, are you?
Not at this stage, no. No, I enjoy it too much, and good people to be around. All these suck it up guys have been bloody good to me, and yeah, I enjoy it. So we'll just see what happens.
Wicked pieces of kit, these things, aren't they? And you get to drive it every weekend, mate. It's bloody amazing.
Yeah, Malcolm's pretty good to me, eh? So we'll keep on going as long as he wants to keep going and enjoy it.
He's a bit so-so at the moment, though, isn't he? I mean, he's enjoyed not racing, and is he? Oh, I'll ask him shortly. But obviously, you're all get up for the New Zealand Champs, and we're going to put one of those smaller numbers on the side of the car.
That's the plan, mate. As always. If not, I'll make it entertaining, hopefully. So, we'll have a bit of fun and give it our best shot.
Good field of super stocks tonight. Is it out there for a bit of a run or a bit of a play, or just see what sort of comes of it?
Oh, it's a big meeting for these guys here, the Remembrance Champs, and this is my first time here for this meeting, so I'll give it my best shot first, and if not, I'll make sure one of the boys win it.
Oh, well, hey, cheers for coming down, mate. It's always a pleasure having you here, and best of luck out there, eh?
Yeah, thanks, Jace. Thanks for a good show.
Right, yeah, cheers, buddy. Right, we'll catch up with Mel while we're here, and just while we're floating past. So here he is, in living colour, the man himself. Big Mel, mate. How are you? Did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah, really good, Jace. Really good.
I see you Snapchat saying you had a good time, so that's got to be a good thing.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Yep, no, a bit of a lifetime changes, and everything's going really good. Yep.
Absolutely. So tell me, you've obviously haven't done a lot of racing, and when I spoke to you last, you've actually enjoyed not racing. So is this something, maybe this meeting here, a bit of an opportunity to kick-start something and get back into that racing mode?
Yeah, I sort of hope so. Yeah, I've got a wee bit over it there, and everyone around me's not over it. So yeah, once I get in the car, I'm into it. But I just got to get back in that bloody car.
Well, of course, you've got the Super Saloon here tonight, and this obviously is a different beast. What are you running now?
It's still a stealth car. It's a new generation car. So we run it. We've only run it twice, and so we've got to learn it all again. But we'll go all right. And Mark's got the old car, which we no longer own, but he's running that tonight. So it'll be bloody good.
Now tell me, the Super Stock Champs are coming up. Yeah, you got the World 240s. There's a big race calendar coming up for Super Stocks. Are we going to see you up in some of these North Island tracks, or you're just going to let Sauce and the boys do the job?
No, definitely. I'm going to be there. Go for all this weight loss stuff, and I feel way better in myself. And I'm going to go and give it another crack. There's a lot of cars, but they know I'm there when I'm there, and I'll keep a few people honest.
Absolutely. Well, you might not win it, but you'll certainly determine who does.
Well, I'll give it a crack, yeah.
Well, you don't go up there to get second either, do you?
No, you don't. And the guys are so good now. The young guys coming through are amazing. And just to race around them, I just love it, it's real good racing.
Well, I hope you get that bug, because the last couple of times I've spoken to you, you've been a bit ho-hum about it. So hopefully you get it back again, because the sport needs you. And it's probably as much as you need the sport, really, at the end of the day. But you're probably kind of finding out you don't need it as much as what you thought.
Yeah, I don't really. I just do it as a hobby. And obviously the company keeps us going. So without the company would be stuff. So, yeah, but everything's going really good. So we'll keep going for now.
Very good. Right, it sounds like you guys have got to get up and get ready to go. So thanks very much for the chat, and best of luck for tonight. And hopefully we catch up with you a couple of times for an interview for a win.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Right, so remember, this one you don't hit in, that one you do, right?
Who made those rules?
I'm not sure. So, right, that's of course Malcolm Nardai. We're going to hand it over. I'm not sure what the boys upstairs are doing, but we'll hand it over to them anyway, and maybe get a bit of music going if they're not ready to go. And we've got a grand parade coming up very shortly, and then we'll be into racing at 6 o'clock. See you then.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Koken Woodford Glen for a belated Remembrance Champs this evening. For those that are new to Woodford Glen and are here for the Derby and here for the exciting racing you're going to have tonight, we take this opportunity every year because Speedway itself is fundamentally a form of escapism. We come out here to be Saturday night cowboys, to throw dirt at the wall, race cars, crash cars, and then talk about how great we are afterwards. But throughout that time, every year, we take this opportunity to remember those that aren't with us. And this year, particularly more recently, we've been hit really hard. The Marsden family and the Lee family have both lost members. And even as late as last night, I believe we've lost a former member as well. So, this is the one moment of the year we take to be, I guess, a little bit somber, but a bit reminiscent. And then we celebrate by racing. So we ask for you all to join with us to take a moment's silence before this evening starts. Drivers, start your engines.
So we're gearing up for our first race of the night here for the Remembrance Championship, brought to us by Printwise. All of the grades racing tonight are racing a championship format, so that's the standard Speedway New Zealand 3-heat format, where everyone gets to, in theory anyway, pass the same number of cars in front of them over the course of the 3 heats during the night. And first up, ministocks, brought to us by Sylvester V8 Performance. If you're watching the live stream courtesy of the Pits TV, thank you so much for tuning in to Koken Woodford Glen tonight. We hope you enjoy the action on track and some of the banter off it, and that one day you'll appear through the gate here at Koken Woodford Glen as well, as around 7,000 or 8,000 other people have done tonight. It's packed here. Jared, you've been out in the middle with just a huge crowd.
Yeah, it's an amazing atmosphere out there, to be fair. It's almost electric in the sense that it's just awesome when you race in front of a full stadium, and you can actually feel some of the emotion, as particularly when Chris Lee's car was doing that final lap.
Fantastic. All right, so we're green and racing, and away we go. And the 197 there of that bright green car, just waiting for that ELS to update. Oh, there it. Oh, we've got them. Stuart Sam Jack in the 197. That's why I was getting mixed up, because I'm seeing 198 as well, and wondering which was which. But it's Samuel Jack in the 197. Leads us through from the 93 car of Shaden Andrew McCartney. The 15 car is there in third place, Jack Wildermoth, and the rest of the field starting to get a little bit strung out around the field there. We've got a three-way sandwich for the 87 of Reece Marsden there, running the middle line, you might say, in between various other competitors who are going around him. And nice move up the outside by the 62 there, Chris Williams. But out front, 197 Sam Jack, he's got a couple of car lengths over Shaden Andrew McCartney, and then we get a couple of car lengths back to the 15 of Jack Wildermoth. So not a lot of change in the adult mini stocks. I have to say, the youths that we've had, the youth mini stocks we've had in more recent meetings here at Woodford Glen have put more cars on the track, haven't they, than the adults are doing at the moment? Yeah, well, that's I think it's more the fact that it's become a real open grade here at Koken Woodford Glen, and it's certainly becoming a feeder class. It'll be interesting to see how far Mum and Dad's budgets go over the next 4 years. It could be the biggest feeder class to adult mini stock in 4 years' time. As we watch the 197 just leading away, head back to the 93 of Shaden Andrew McCartney and the 15 of Wildermoth. The 55 of Isaac Chapman. Of course, he has stepped up. He's aged out from the youth mini stocks. Yes, that's right. I hadn't tweaked to that. But unfortunately, it looks like his car's picked up a smoking habit along the way, so not good to have underage smoking out there. As the 85 car of Hawley all over the back of him, moved back to the 62 of Williams and the 198 of Stuart Jack, which is actually the father of the race leader at the moment. As they cross over the start-finish line. Once again, Sam takes the all the way down, looking at him now. He's 2 laps to go. He's into the back markers. Pickles there. He just has to go around the outside. I think Pickles is not sure he's not driving one of the pace cars. Now, you actually are allowed to race them as you come up on the 23 car of Caitlin Ross. Give her plenty of space. They head out wide. White flag is out. Now the battle is going to be on this last lap, Tony. Yep, they're close. Not a lot between these two. And you can see how hard packed is just dusted on that middle part of the track. Yeah, and when mini stocks are dusting up the track, you know it's pretty firm. Well, first race of the night, don't you? It is. But it's kind of good, because we know that if there's dust, it's not a rut. As we head round through Enviro Waste, it is going to be Sam Jack taking away the win, back to the 93 with the 15, and the 85 of Hawley for 4th, and Chapman in his first adult mini stock race for 5th. Alrighty, so some good clean racing from the adult mini stocks there to start the night, courtesy of Sylvester V8 Performance. Sam Jack with the win. Fastest lap of 21.52 by Shaden Andrew McCartney.
Roll the beat back. 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 Let's rock.
right, so a great field of super saloons. Look at them all running down the back straight there past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand. What a picture.
A little complication here with cars obviously getting a little confused over where they are. This is going to be an interesting front row start. Kane Lawson, we know he loves a front row start. We know he likes to drive it in hard on these opening tracks. But then he's got arguably one of the most consistent drivers in the country in a car that he's built on the inside of him, and that being Mark Osborne.
And probably one of the most powerful super saloons in the country right behind him in the form of the 891.
Yeah, well,
there wouldn't be many producing as many HPs as Josh gets out of that car.
And then you move back to Richie Taylor there. He you know, he's the classic. Don't brake until you crap yourself, and don't lift until you well, don't lift until you do that, and then don't brake until you smell it. So he will drive in hard as well. And then Mackay's going to sit back and just go, where do I go? Here we go, Tony.
Absolutely. Trenches Services, Super Saloons, we're away and racing, and whoa, side by side, Mark Osborne and Kane Lawson. Osborne lifts the inside front wheel and gets the nose in front. Richie Taylor bangs into the back of Josh Bolton's car. 86 Mackay just giving them a bit of space. Malcolm Nartai keeping an eye on them too. Paul Power very competitive there with the 54 of Marsden. Here comes Ian Stewart with a very quick run from near the back of the pack, and slicing his way through the traffic in the middle is the 3 of Cardwell. Short puff of dust up there on the pole line between 1 and 2, but it's Mark Osborne. I thought that car was going to go round for a second there, but he gathered it up. No, it's Richie Taylor's car that goes round. Spins to the infield though, and he's safe there, so the racing should continue. Parts flying off the front of Trevor Elliott's 27 machine.
Lockie Taylor overreacting down the footing.
Round. So we will go yellow. What a frenetic first race. Sure it's not these guys racing for the Wayne Wilding?
no, they did try and leave the front row vacant, but for Lockie Taylor there, I think he's just pinched the brake there, backing that all up. Richie Taylor just overcooked it. The track is, when it goes dusty like that, it actually becomes, I guess, what you call greasy, that you lose that top surface, and so it's hard to keep the car stable.
And you could see that with Mark Osborne. I thought the rear end of that car was going to go out from under him, and somehow he brought it back.
Oh, because he's that
good. But poor old Richie just couldn't quite. The same thing happened and couldn't quite bring it round. Mind you, didn't have as much space around it. 43, Paul Power from the coast.
Yep, from Westport.
Registered for Nelson, but races out of Westport.
So, now the interesting thing is the yellow is actually for Lockie Taylor.
Yeah.
So if we go back a lap, Richie Taylor was actually further up.
Yeah, he was.
So in theory...
in front of 21.
So
the referee's trying to get them in the right order. But you know what drivers are like.
Oh, and the problem is all of a sudden you can't hear.
You're behind 21.
3 has to go behind.
21, you need to come up 3 cars.
21 has to move. So Ian Burson sent his hand out the window, but he's been instructed to move in front of the 3 and Z of Cardwell. Well, if he doesn't start, the 14 car is now confused.
You're behind car 21.
Now, of course, if this was a club just a club night,
just let him go.
Let him go. Now, the problem is this is Remembrance Champs. This actually does have a fair bit of meaning to some competitors. And
okay, close up, guys.
No, they're going to let him go. If you don't go back into position, you've been told, you've been given the opportunity.
Plenty of opportunity.
So
if you don't want to do it, well, sort it out in the protest room afterwards.
And Lockie Taylor's looking like he's going to move up as well. Now, so that's fair.
Richie was waving him forward. I guess that's Richie being kind, being gentlemanly about it, saying it was my fault, not yours, that we had the yellow there.
At the end of the day, this is about gentleman racing. As you wouldn't know that when we get back in the pits, we're starting to box up. We're going to go green, so Osborne takes them high and drops them to the pole.
And away we go again. Starting, not quite a restart. We've completed one racing lap. Look at the inside front wheel of that 9 car. You couldn't get it much higher off the ground. The 6 of Kane Lawson, you can see his wheel stopped spinning there through the turns as well. This is a grippy track, this one. My goodness me, look at the rear end grip of these cars. They are not loose at all. They are going for it. So Osborne, we've got another one round. Ian Stewart.
Yeah, Stewart spinning down there at 3 and 4. It was getting good, but between Lawson and
It was.
Osborne.
It was, wasn't it?
It is.
So, 11 laps to go, according to the ELS. It's going to be a long night.
We're going to run out of fuel on this first race, but at least we're getting the track
Come on,
back.
guys.
Here we go. They've told them they're going to go. If you don't get into position, you get 2 laps to do it.
Lights out.
All right, lights out this time, says the referee. Mark Osborne.
Oh, he
in the
pulls them
ninth.
down to the pole line. They've got to be an Indian file, so watch the snake.
Yeah.
Will they? They've got
Oh.
to be an Indian file. He won't.
Josh doesn't want to do that.
Now, Osborne's going to go high. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to stay low.
Cut the corner and away he goes. So Mark Osborne leads them away. Here comes Hayden Mackay with a heck of a restart there, taking the outside line and going for it. Look at the pace of Hayden Mackay, that 86 car. The 54 of Marston trying to do the same. And here comes Cardwell in that 3NZ car, trying to find his way through. Can't get past Paul Power at the moment. Out front, another lap completed for Mark Osborne, leading Kane Lawson in the 6. With 3, almost 4 wide down the front straight there. That was exciting stuff with Burson, Marsden, Power and Cardwell in the mix. Cardwell goes to the inside and gets past Paul Power as the lights come on. That's nice. The 9 car of Osborne lifting that inside front wheel still. Kane Lawson staying with him. 891 Josh Bolton just dropping off a little bit there under pressure from the 86 of Mackay. You see the front of Mackay's car dig in and push up a little bit of the track down the back straight there as he hit the brakes. The 19 of Malcolm Nartai's in there right on the back of Mackay as well. Bits flapping off the 27 car, but he's still racing hard as well. Burson holding off the 3 of Cardwell. Paul Power's pulled to the infield. Try saying that quickly. The 9 car of Mark Osborne still leads. We're 5 laps into the race now, and fastest lap so far is 16.69 by Kane Lawson. He's staying with Osborne, but I can't honestly say that he's putting it under an awful lot of pressure at this point in time. Does anyone ever put Mark Osborne under pressure? I don't think he feels the pressure if they do. He just drives. He's a machine. And look at him. Just absolutely, he's getting a bit conservative now. I think he knows that Lawson's there, and I think probably the best of the track is gone. So Osborne just getting a little bit more gentle with the inputs to the car now. He's interesting to argue whether he had a front wheel over the pole line there. It certainly wasn't on the pole line, but he's coming up towards the back markers now. Give it another couple of laps and Ian Stewart and Lockie Taylor will be in his sights. There's a long way back to the 3rd place car. That's still the 891 of Josh Bolton. Then we go back to Malcolm Nartai racing hard with Hayden Mackay and Trevor Elliott. A few car lengths back to the 21 of Burson, who's going to get pushed and passed up the inside by Craig Cardwell. Neat move by the Aucklander there. 54 Ryan Marston starting to come on strong, and Richie Taylor near the back of the field. I don't know, maybe the setup of that car just hasn't worked for him this race. So we're going to get the lead cars coming through shortly. They've already got past Stewart, they get past Lockie Taylor, and that's 9 laps down now, 10 laps down for Mark Osborne, so just one more after this. The 9 car through Enviroways turn. He's got a little bit of clear air in front of him. Kane Lawson just dropped off a little from the back behind him, and Osborne just needs to bring this one home now. Kane Lawson going a little higher there to get round Lockie Taylor's car. You can see the 6 car not quite so happy out higher there, and but coming through Enviro Waste, he doesn't need to make the pass. He can just bring it home. The 9C for the night anyway. Mark Osborne, 2nd Lawson, and 3rd across the line Josh Bolton in the 891.
That was our first Super Saloon Marathon, race of the night. As you mentioned there, Tony, fastest car on the track, Kane Lawson, a 16.69. The track was not what a lot of drivers expected.
No.
One of the problems with rain is quite often it sinks in. Sometimes it washes off. And I'd say it never penetrated into the clay with that rain we had last night, and it's just washed off. And it caught a few of them out. I think a few of them were a bit napping, to be fair.
Yeah, I think so. Total elapsed time for that race of just a smidge over 10 minutes. Just thought I'd mention that.
Yes. No, well, they did what they could with what they had. And But Mark,
And all cars came back in one piece. I mean, except possibly for Paul Powers, but it doesn't look
bit of
too
smoke
big
coming
an
off the
issue.
back of Bolton's car, which was ominous. I'm hoping it's not his power steering again.
Total Access is New Zealand's largest providers of access machines, scaffolding and hind services. Total Access stand by their promise of reliable service, making easy access. With access machines of all types, Total Access have the small machines right up to New Zealand's largest, with a reach of over 56 metres. With locations all over New Zealand, give the team a call today on 0800 Hire Now or visit their website at totalaccess.co.nz. Total Access, where height is within your reach.
It doesn't matter how hard the job is, we suck it up and get it done. No matter how dirty our hands have to get, we suck it up and get it done. Suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up.
Suck it up and get it done with suckitup.co.nz.
Getting this all gridded up. And talking about we're full, we are very full tonight, and please be respectful, you know, like I can see over in turns 1 and 2 there's some big tarpaulins with nobody sitting on them. If they don't get filled up very shortly, I will have security get you to come and fold them up so other people can sit down.
You can tell our president's in a grumpy mood with that as we're about to go racing, and we're away. It is Cox and Harris off the front. The 97 car is going to get pinballed here, just did not take off very well at all. 27 car through the infield and still comes back out at turn 2. We go to Rob running second, back to Melissa Gifford and Houston Jr. Brooks. There's a big gaggle of cars and we funnel down as the 14 car takes Harley Rob out at turn 3. So Eb Young just using that front bow. He's going to climb over it. He's up on the side rail. The old Garland after the that's going to be fun. So the pack goes round. We've got Dan Hardy parked down. Oh, we're all moving, so we're away. The 75 car already on the grass. And the 27 car all crossed up through back on the infield. I'm actually going to watch the 991 and
That's
the
what I was
14 car.
looking at.
That's where I'd be focusing. Here we go, Harley, right, he missed him. He caught the 248 car and he puts him over us. He gets a 2 for 1.
2 for 1 deal. You could see that was going to happen.
Harley Rob was actually lining up the 14 car, but he ended up taking both of them out.
Just fired the 246 car into the 14. They both went out to the wall.
And of course 246, a bit green, kept the gas up it.
Is that literally it's a bit green?
Well, you're that in the driver. And of course, if you're in the crowd and you see the 50-50 sellers out there, that is money all going to our 50-50 fund, which is building up for our building development fund here, Ivan.
Yeah, so we want to build a new clubroom. So.
As we're just watching they both, the 248 or 246 car ended up actually taking Ebb to the wall, but he got assisted.
And
he got
good
supercharged.
thing for Harley is he's probably gone away a wee bit stealth out of that.
Yeah, well, it's
because
they all know who Ebb knows who it was. He
would have seen him in the mirrors.
It is still Aris at the Aris at Enviro Waste down there, right by the light. He's going to start on the corner. Then we go back to Craig Robb with Daniel Cox. We're away.
We'll go red again, I'd say.
Yep, the 215 didn't start, so we sit and wait, and we go red. Here's the pack coming through. Oop. We're on the brakes. Good to see the 59 car there of Brad Rosewarne there. Got some stickers on it now.
Yep.
Doesn't look like the beer chassis that it once was.
One.
Khan Gray there, just going to get pushed to the infield. Did not start on there, so we've completed a lap after that. Race leader still Aris. He's over there at turn 2. We managed to get half a lap out of that, Ivan.
Half a lap?
Half a lap. We're going to go racing. We are. We're away and gone.
Everybody's away.
Just quick scan around the track to make sure everybody's moving. 75 car looks like he wants to join back in from the infield. Probably pay not to do that in front of the pack. 97 just rolling, shooting straight to the grass. As is the 94 smoking on that right front, or left front. So the pack, there's that real gaggle of cars that heads through turn 3 and 4 as the 2 of Braden Lawton there just gets spun round. He'll back into the infield. Our race leader, it is Aris, 18 car of Tama Pierce, spun on the front straight here. Our leader clocks up another lap. 68 car of Jackson to the infield. The 9 car looks up the inside of the 59 with Wade Sweeting there as well in the 151. So Michael Aris has got quite a decent lead over the second place of Craig Robb. He's into the back markers though. As he's looking to weave his way through. Tama Pierce there in the 18 car. He sped up all of a sudden as the 521 car got near him, so I just wonder if he's here for a play or is he just going to go on racing? No. Looks like Tama's got something on his mind. Anyway, our race leader in behind the 18 car, back to Craig Robb, who's battling there with Brad Rosewarne. Rosewarne will slip through. Harley Robb's just cutting his way through the field. Out in front though, Aris, he's right on the back of the 18 car. Flat tyres on those left fronts seem to be the order of the day as you look around the track. The 45 car there's got a flat left front as well. And Ben Lodge there battling there with the 615. 27 through the infield and back out to the apex of the corner. As Aris there still coming through, he goes through on the 252 as we head down to Enviro Waste, and she gives him a wallop for his efforts. So Paige Wilson gets into the race leader. Or Peyton Wilson, sorry. Gets into the 251. So the 521. God, I'm getting all dyslexic here.
So the white flag's out.
Rosewarne goes through. So Rosewarne's come through and he's on the back. Oh, he could actually catch Aris here if he gets him. Rosewarne's got him, he fires him into the wall and he'll take the race win. Brad Rosewarne on the sneaky there, gave Aris got complacent and got the big shot there from Rosewarne, and Rosewarne taking away the race win after all of that.
Well, everybody would have thought Michael Aris had that race won.
Well, he did, but he played with the back markers. Peyton Wilson gave him a tickle up there on the way past, but I think it was actually the 18K. He was racing with Tama Pierce.
Yeah.
And Rosewarne, he knew just when to give it a little bit of attention. Also good to see the, it does say here that Aris has won, but I pick him that's purely because the ELS hasn't picked up the 59 car because he's nowhere in the top 10.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think Tama Pierce's lap time is the best lap time.
No, that's when he did the spin across the spin across the you can see the skid marks on the track.
So yeah, so they're saying that Michael there, the ELS now has picked up Brad Rosewarne as the winner, followed home by Michael Aris, then Wade Sweet and Craig Grob, Troy Cleveland in the 88C, and then we went back to Dave Houston Jr.
The 8 cars, but they should be reasonably evenly matched cars, and it'll be really interesting to see the battle, particularly with that front row of Willie Woodhouse and Matt Peterson. So we're about to go green, about to go racing, and it looks a little bumpy and a little jiggly coming out of turn 4 there, doesn't it? But Matt Peterson gets his nose in front in the 433 car. Willie Woodhouse will make life difficult for him, won't get left too far behind, I don't think. Blair Lee always comes on strong mid to late race, so watch for him. And of course Ashton Osborne, well, he can come on strong anytime. Yeah, there's a definite bump or rut starting to form near turn 4 there. You can see the cars jiggling about as they come through. The 433 of Peterson holds on to the lead, down the back straight, past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand. Willie Woodhouse won't let him go though. They've cleared out a little bit from Blair Lee in the 17 machine, who's got the 28 of Peterson tucked in behind him. It's Peterson Senior, who's under a bit of pressure from the 16 of Osborne Jr. The 7 car of Woodhouse. Woodhouse Jr. This is starting to get a bit boring, isn't it? The 167 of Tabley and the 24 of Sam Martin at the back of the field. So another lap ticked off for Matt Peterson. He's just opening a little bit of a gap on the 71 car Willie Woodhouse there, and here comes Blair Lee. Put in his quickest lap of the race so far that last time round, and in fact Matt Peterson has the fastest lap so far, but Blair Lee nipping right on a similar time to that. So Blair Lee coming on strong. The challenge is going to come on the 71 car soon, I suspect. Ashton Osborne got a bit of work to do to catch up on these front 3. 28, Steve Peterson just dropping back slightly and holding off Scott Woodhouse, Tabley and Martin at the back of the field. So another lap ticked off for the 433 car, Matt Peterson. 71, Willie Woodhouse dropping off the back of that car now and under increasing pressure from Blair Lee in that Kiwi Auto Spares 17 Saloon. That car looking very sharp at this point of the race, and I think he's going to just sneak through the inside and drag race down the front straight. Very little that Willie Woodhouse could do about that. You could see the 17 car, the rear suspension of that car working harder, working better than the 71 car that's just bouncing around a little bit. And at this point in the race, Blair Lee's got it. So white flag comes out for the race leader, Matt Peterson. He's got a good lead on Blair Lee. I can't see Lee catching him in just one lap. And here comes Ashton Osborne, monstering the back of Willie Woodhouse's car. Oh, did you see a car get fully airborne there out of turn 2? That was spectacular stuff. But here's your checkered flag. Race winner, Matt Peterson. Second place, the 17 car of Blair Lee. And just holding on for third by the and slimmest of margins, the 71 of Willie Woodhouse.
Yeah, so Matt Peterson in the 433 takes out that race win. Best lap time, a 17.69 by Matt Peterson. Everybody else was sitting around the 18s, mid-18s, so yeah. Look, there is a couple of ruts, just the track starting to lift a little bit, coming off turn 2 and going into turn 3.
Yeah.
But, you know, if they wheel pack it and try and keep it down, but then again, don't drive through the same rut every lap.
Well, no, exactly. And once you do it once, your back tells you not to do it again, doesn't it? So
exactly.
you learn which parts of the track to avoid. And but you could see some of the cars there getting quite tail happy, quite twitchy through the turns. And on one occasion at least, Osborne's car, all 4 wheels off the ground.
So they grid up.
And explain briefly why he needs to get the meeting and what do you mean by that?
So you've got to do a certain amount of meetings before you're eligible to enter a New Zealand title.
Yep.
So if you haven't raced at all that season, you have to do 3 meetings before you're eligible for a South Island or New Zealand title.
Yep.
If you've raced the previous season, you only have to do 1 meeting before the New Zealand title. So
and the New Zealand title this year is not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, isn't it? So he's got to get this race meeting under his belt.
in Napier. So,
and a few of these drivers will be going up to that meeting. James Stein is
James Stein's
on the entry list. Braden Lennon is on the entry list. Malcolm Nartai is going to go up there as well.
Yes,
Darryl Wallace.
Yep.
There may
Scott
be
Tennant.
Scott Tennant. Yes,
he's entered that as well. So as they grid up, as I say, grid 1 is empty. Then we go on the outside, the 34, Cool Drive sponsor machine of Caleb West. Back on the inside, Kaipoi Radiators, James Stein. On his outside, we've got the 32 of Mitch Berry in the Speedway Garage sponsor machine. And then behind him, back on the inside, the 23, Jake Berry. On the outside, the 10C, the Zeal sponsor machine. We're about to go green. Harley Robson piloting the 10. Oh, itchy trigger.
Yes, no, they're going to have to reset that one. You'll be able to work through back the rest of the field there.
So the 7C car, that'll be Riley Evans. The 95, that is Alex Rondell. In behind Rondell, we've got Ben Hearn in the 79. On his inside, we've got 91. That'll be Happy Paul. In behind Happy Paul, we've got the 153. That being Robin Wilson. We're about to go green and we are away and racing. Into the first corner. Caleb West leads us over James Stein in the 14. Then we go back to the 32-23, the Berry brothers. Then we go back to Harley Rob in the 10C car. Happy Paul. Robin Wilson, he just shoots up the inside of the 7 car. Who's that? The 10C car. Is that Harley Rob that's gone round?
Yeah, Harley put him round.
4C, Braden Lennon's in there, as is Darryl Wallace in the 557. Then we go back to Ben Hearn in the 79. Riley Evans in the 7. Visitor out of Nelson in the 66 car being Mick Eden. And behind Eden, Malcolm Nartai. He's down a wee bit in this one. He'll be wanting to try and get up through the field. But James Stein looks like he's taken over the lead over Caleb West. And we go back to the Berry brothers, Jake and Mitch. And behind them we've got Braden Lennon in the 4 car. Here comes Darryl Wallace in the 557. And behind them we're Happy Paul in the 91, the Fast Blast machine. Then Wilson in the 153. Nartai in the 19C car, making up a few spots now. But out the front, James Stein's leading us. Here comes Braden Lennon up the inside of the 34 car, pushes him wide. James Stein's leading us by about 10 car lengths at this stage over the 2 Berry brothers. Darryl Wallace, he's trying to have a look up the inside of Lennon. The races for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Stein's, he's cleared out. The 2 Berries, Jake and Mitch, holding that 2nd and 3rd spot. Darryl Wallace is up the inside on the 557. Then on the outside is the 4 car. Just getting a bit of work from the 34 car as he just has a poke. Caleb West has taken over that spot. 91 Happy Paul. The race leader goes past us again as they go down the front straight.
Oh,
Darryl Wallace.
Lennon's broken it.
Broken front end. Wallace picks up that 2nd spot. But our race leader, he comes past us. James Stein in the 14, the continuous group sponsored machine. Our second place getter, Darryl Wallace, just comes past us now, the 85. Tom Cooper pulls to the infield. So James Stein, he's got just about the full length of the back straight over Darryl Wallace in the 557. Then we go back to the Berry brothers. 23 being Jake Berry over Mitch Berry in the 32. Then we go back to Malcolm Nartai. Oh, Darryl Wallace has now just pulled off in the 557. So the Berry brothers pick up second and third again. Nartai's come from the rear of the field. He's in fourth. Don't think he's going to have enough laps to get near the front to put any threat on the 14 car as they go through turns 1 and 2. James Stein, he's heading down the back straight. Second, third and fourth are just coming off turn 2 now as the 32 of Mitch Berry trying to shoot up the inside of his brother Jake. White flag.
Nartai's the quickest on the track at the moment.
White flag for James Stein. Nartai's now, he's coming into play. He's only going to be as good as second. He's going to shoot up the inside of the 23 car. But our race leader, he's just come off turn 4. James Stein, he is just going to pick up the first heat for the Superstocks for their Remembrance Champs. Nartai, he's come through from the back to take second. Then it's a side-by-side for the two Berry brothers.
Yep, 0.011 of a second between them. They were locked together. The front wheels were absolutely locked together.
And Malcolm Nartai set the fastest lap there, being an 18.63.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens with. There's quite a few cars that didn't finish. Wallace.
Nartai got held up on the first lap. Braden Lennon had an outstanding first lap because he was starting near the back, and he got himself well up into about 6th or 7th position by the end of the first lap. But Malcolm had a mare of a first lap. And it really wasn't until the second half of the race that he was able to come on strong and show what he's capable of in that 19 car, what we all know he can do.
Yep.
Too little too late, unfortunately.
Oh, exactly. So as we see, Lennon was on the infield, Rob was on the infield, Wallace was on the infield, Cooper's on the infield. The 44, Ollie Sutton was on the infield, as was 95, Alex Rondell. So bit of a parking lot out down there as well.
Yeah.
So they were,
good race, though.
It was. Fast race.
Yeah.
Fast race.
3 minutes and 12 seconds the lapse time for the 10 laps. It's got to be heading up there as one of the quickest 10 lap races we've had here at Koken Woodford Glen.
So we might play an ad, you reckon, Tony, while we're waiting for the street stocks to come out?
I think we'll have to pay some bills because it's not the cheapest place in the world to run, is it, this one?
No.
We'll be back shortly.
For the water truck, guys.
Reign of terror and disorder.
But they talk about another kind of world, and where the best herbs grow.
Marijuana.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the small part of what you'll witness tonight.
Demoniacal creep.
Anderton Decorators are a long-established Canterbury company covering the whole of the South Island who love to support their local community. If you require expert advice from design to application, then Shane has the expert team to ensure your next project is hassle-free with a professional finish. Floor to ceilings, walls to roof, inside, outside, commercial or residential. Let our team take the hassle out of your decorating. Give us a call now on 027 Painting. That's 027 724 6846. Anderton Decorators, we have you covered.
Get wholesale tyres in Whakatane.
Need truck tyres? Wholesale tyres. Good tyres, better prices, great people.
Alrighty, so Street Stocks back out for their, well, I say back out for their first event of the night, courtesy of Koken Tools, of course the title sponsor here at Koken Woodford Glen. Big thank you to the whole team from Koken. Without them, we wouldn't have Speedway here in Christchurch. So big thank you to Koken Tools. And of course you can get your Koken Tools down at the Woodford Glen shop. Yeah, so if you do need tools, Steve's got a great selection down there. I doubt he's open hugely long hours over the holiday period, but I'm sure once that we get back to more normal working times, you better pop down to the Woodford Glen shop and get your tools.
The joy is we have an online store.
And the online, oh yes, of course, the website.
Online
yes,
store
on the website.
So
yep, you can order tools and products there. So Street Stocks getting ready to go. Off the front there, we've got the 311 of Callum Bowman and the 16C car of Jason Prendergast. And there's an absolute logjam of cars down the front straight there, as we've got the 17 cars gone round on the infield, parked just across the pole line. He's away again now. That's Jamie Hobby. And it's the 15 of Ben Turner who's made it to the front, I think. 16, sorry, and it's the 16 car of Jason Prendergast from the 36 of Alan Aitchison there. They are leading this one. Here comes the 35 car. He's been quick all season. That's John O'Garthley, of course. He's been quick all his life, really, to be quite honest. Ever since he graduated out of nappies and into a car, I think he's been quick. So he gets to the front, perhaps not surprisingly, slight tap on the back there, but he gathers the car back up. Good to see Simon Bland back out there in the 31 car. Popular winner here at Woodford Glen last season, and he's getting ready for the big competitions coming up, the New Zealand title in Wellington, I think it is, in a few weeks' time, and then the South Island Street Stocks here in 1 week, on the 6th of January. That's our next meeting, isn't it? So there's a few big meetings coming up for Street Stocks and Street Stock fans over the next little while. But it's John O'Garthley running down the back straight past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand. He's leading Simon Bland in the 31 car. 28 there, Steve Peterson making a good showing. Oh, sorry, it's 26. Misread the number there. That's Cody Pedley. I thought it's unusual to see Steve in an all-black car, and he's making life difficult for Simon Bland. And here comes the 1NZ machine of Paul Leslie up the inside. You never write that car and driver off. 46 of Sean Andrews in the mix there too, getting past the 26 machine, and here comes the 15 of Ben Turner. So it's quite busy out the front here. There's John O'Garthley's cleared out by about 7 or 8 car lengths, but behind him there's plenty of cars in close contention. 433 Matt Peterson's in the mix there as well. But as they come across start finish, that's John O'Garthley, 6 laps completed. Second place at the moment is the 1NZ of Paul Leslie, and he's closing on Garthley. Then we go back to the 31 of Bland, the 46 of Sean Andrew, and the 15 car of Turner. Prendergast and Kirk Aldridge having a battle in the middle there. Not the 1NZ, it's the 2NZ, isn't it? That's in second place there.
79, 311 over on the back straight there, all crossed up and against the wall.
6 to the infield.
My apologies to Mike Jones in the 2NZ. I called him as Paul Leslie. It looks as though the 79 car's got some front wheel issues there, doesn't it?
46, you're okay. 26. 46, you can go back where you were.
So they're just rearranging some cars.
All right, the engines are revving, the cars are running again, and we're away and racing about halfway through the event. 7 laps down, 8 laps down now, 4 to go. And it's the 35 of John O'Garthley looking for a way past the Jackson Hill. Oh, he's off. Yep. Perhaps overheating issues, hard to know. Car sitting for quite a long time on the track. So Simon Bland takes over second place from Matt Peterson and Sean Andrew. They're having a good battle there for 3rd and 4th at the moment, going past start finish into Envirowaste turn. Simon Bland had a moment there coming out of Envirowaste, and all of that has just helped John O'Garthley increase his lead. So just a couple of laps left now for John O'Garthley, the former 1NZ in the 35 car. leading Simon Bland in the 31. And you'd have to say that the close racing is bringing out the best of Peterson and Andrew. They're closing on Simon Bland, but I think they're going to run out of laps to do anything about taking over second place. So there's your white flag in the white zone now for John O'Garthley, just one to go. There's your second place car, cross start finish now, 31. And there's your third and fourth. Andrew seems to have just got the better of Matt Peterson. Wouldn't put it past Peterson to give Andrew a nudge in turns 3 and 4 here, though, just to see if he can get past. No, he's being very circumspect there as John O'Garthley tags the wall coming through.
Shakes the house.
Gives us all a little bit of an earthquake. And there's your checkered flag for your race winner, John O'Garthley. Not exactly his first rodeo, not exactly his first race win here at Koken Woodford Glen.
So John O'Garthley takes that. His best lap time was a 20.44. So he takes out the first heat for the street stocks. And we'll just wait for the ELS. Simon Bland from Wanganui takes out the second spot, followed by Sean Andrews, Matt Peterson, Ben Turner, Kirk Aldridge, Paul Leslie, Steve Peterson, Brooke Peterson, Jason Prendergast. That rounds out your top 10.
So it's a good field of street stocks here at Koken Woodford Glen. That race brought to us by Koken. And next up, we're going to see modifieds out on the track, courtesy of L&J Cartage.
But of course, as we get through Christmas and we start looking towards New Zealand titles, a few of the guys getting their packages back together. Obviously, there are other, particularly with the saloons. Actually, there's a race meeting in Dunedin tonight at Beachlands. So we lost one or two that way. But this race is brought to us by, who's brought this one, Tony?
L&J Cartage.
Of course, and they normally would be...
They've been sponsoring races here at Koken Woodford Glen since as long as I can remember, I tell you.
Well, the Adams Own 2 modified, so Luke and Brent. Now, Lindsay Gilbert in the 8 car, the man of the moment. You've seen some YouTube stuff on him recently.
Yes, I did. Is in the other car at the other track. Anyway, so Lindsay Gilbert and the 43 machine there of Scott Ritchie, new to modifieds, but not totally new to Woodford Glen. He pedalled that production saloon of his pretty fast around here. Here comes Jacob Mitchell round the outside. He's going to have to make a pass there. Ritchie just backing up the cars a little bit, and that allows the 18 of Mitchell. He'll duck to the inside now to get inside Reuben Brown and the 47 machine, like a knife through butter, wasn't it? Here comes the 9 of Lennon as well. Awesome looking car, great graphics on that 9 machine this season. Out front, Lindsay Gilbert deciding to use the grass to race on as well as the clay, but doesn't seem to bother Mitchell, who just drives around the outside of him. Actually, no, he doesn't. Look at that. Gilbert finds a bit more and holds him out there.
He commits to that inside manoeuvre. But out in front, Dan Ray is just being allowed to run away with it at the moment, Tony.
He is, isn't he? He's building quite a lead there, 1.3 seconds in that last lap, and it's grown a little bit more. Jacob Mitchell's getting the pedal down now. He's got past Gilbert, and I think he's going to start reeling in Dan Ray. But he's probably going to run out of laps, even though there's 6 of them remaining. because Ray has built quite a substantial lead. So it's Dan Ray in the blue 24 car from the 18, Jacob Mitchell. The 8 car of Lindsay Gilbert leading Ruben Brown on the 47, and the 9 of Gary Lennon coming on very quick. Lennon taking the high line there, going deep into turn 1. Didn't really work for him, you'd have to say, but he's quick on the straights, is Gary Lennon. Dan Ray ticks off another lap. 6 down, 4 to go for him. Mitchell eating into the lead ever so gradually, but I can't see him getting to challenge Dan Ray unless something goes seriously wrong with that 24 car. And whilst Mitchell's car is bouncing around across the track, Dan Ray's car just seems to glide along, doesn't it? It just sits there and goes.
It's probably not the way that Dan wants to race. he's a more aggressive, throw the car around and hang the tail out, but he knows that more controlled style just wins him more races.
Yeah. So second to last lap now for Dan Ray in the 24 car. He's going to have Cassandra Massey in front of him there in the 11 machine. May have to put a pass on her before the end of the race. So that could be the glimmer of hope that Jacob Mitchell's waiting for. And if Ray gets held up down this back straight, Jacob Mitchell could pounce. But no, and we've got Nicol and Massey side by side. So Dan Ray's got to make it a 3-wide drive. He's going to hope like heck that the 11 car doesn't come across. And it does, but he's kind of got away with it.
He rode that wheel. She moved over on him right on the start-finish line. He's glanced the wall. He's done a bit of damage to it.
Had no option, did he? He was committed to that line up against the wall to take the race win, and yeah, that was always the risk.
It's one of those pet peeves I have with saloon and modified and open wheel racing is where back markers get involved in racing the lead car.
Yeah.
And this Dan had no option. He was on the gas. He had already committed. These don't pull up.
No.
And once she moved over on him, it was a matter of inches. He climbed that rear wheel. He's actually done really well not to go straight off the end. He's just walloped it with the back panel and the Nerf bar. I think he's going to get away with this with probably just a broken front axle.
So 15.8 was the fastest lap early on in the race, and towards the end they were doing 17. So you can see the front wheel of Dan Ray's car there is.
Give him the checkered flag. Let him take it around behind the tow truck.
Yeah.
About to go racing, I think.
Yep, the green thing's waved, so we are racing.
Interesting how the front row were side by side, but no one behind them was directly behind them on that start.
Behind the car, no. So Westman goes very, very high there, and along comes, through the gap comes Vaughan Fairburn. Doesn't need to be asked twice, does he, Vaughan Fairburn? He's been around this track a few times, he knows when a pass is there. Bit of Morse code on the back of Rudy's car from Phileas. And
well, this grade's not renowned for its...
we've got one sideways, Brad Gordon in the 72, sideways and backwards.
To be honest, I think the polish allowed everything just to slip off the 28 car, but Brad Gordon facing the wrong way.
Yellow.
Now that presumably will be a restart, or at least...
In the front straight.
Well,
Brad Gordon's car does look a bit shorter in the snout. Yeah, not a smiling, happy face like the FTOs normally have on the front grille.
No, it's not, is it? So he's wisely pulled to the infield, I think, there.
The thing is, it's probably actually quite raceable. Although the productions probably a little bit more akin to the contact than they should be.
So restart ordered by the referee. Bit of the car picked up off the track. I'll remove that.
So something's on the track over here. Okay, so not sure what our infield crew are trying to tell us, but I'm sure the crowd don't know. As they've all regridded. Brad Gordon on the infield there, looking a little bit worse for wear. Years ago, I was talking to Roger Nees about productions, and he's a man who's had a huge amount of experience with front-wheel drive cars over the years.
Yeah.
And he actually came to the conclusion that if you wanted a genuine non-contact grade, that you should have no bar work from front of the front of the radiator, and you could put as much bar work as you wanted in the rear of your car.
Yeah, interesting.
And that'll stop people from nudging and pushing each other around.
We're going this time, guys.
And I tell you, when it starts costing you radiators and it starts costing you engines, you might change the way you want to, how aggressive you want to be.
So it is a restart, minus the 72 car that was on the second row of the grid.
David Philly is sitting a long way back.
He is, isn't he?
It's almost like he's trying to give us rear-wheel drive cohorts a bit of a head start. As we come off Enviro Waste, we've given them the green. And so Rooney and Westerman down into turn one. They approach it a lot slower than the front-wheel drive cars do. And Westerman not going high again.
No, he's got it a bit more under control this time, but just as quick as the first start was the 17 of Vaughan Fairburn. Takes that outside line, gets past Phileas, gets past Rooney, well alongside him anyway, and he's quick off turn 4 as Fairburn, look at that, he's going to challenge for second place here. Westerman holding the slimmest and narrowest of leads at the moment, but you get the feeling that Vaughan Fairburn is the quicker car on the track and it's only a matter of time. The 78 car in the mix there as well, and the 85 coming in from the back of the field too, that's Matt Bailey of course. And at the back of the pack, the 22 machine, that's Jack, isn't it? And
and you've got the 84 there of Will Sherlock as well, the brother of Matt Bailey.
Yep.
Racing there with us back after about 7 years away from the productions. But Fairburn here having a battle here, and then neither of these two drivers want to touch each other. They'll race close.
No.
Although to be fair, you do well to get your hand between the turtle wax.
Yeah. So Westerman has the better track position at the moment in that he's in front of Fairburn, but you just get the feeling that Fairburn's car is a little more planted and possibly a little quicker. And when the opportunity arises, and is this the opportunity? No, Westerman's got some good power, gets the power down around the outside there, you have to say, for that bigger car. That's quite impressive. Oh, that must have been a big rut there that he came
I don't know if
off.
it was a rut, because I think he just did it himself, bicycled and just jumped up.
Lost a little bit of pace, and that's allowed Fairburn to sneak underneath to take the place. So Vaughan Fairburn to the lead now. That's 5 laps completed for Fairburn, 3 to go.
Lost Rooney to the infield.
Oh, yep. Looks as if he might want to try and get back on the track again, but or as you said, all points count when it's a championship. Westerman holding on to second place at the moment, and tucked in behind him the 78 car of Stephen Palmer. And in white this week, actually, to be fair, I think it was in white last meeting as well, but it does change colour fairly frequently.
The front bumper does anyway.
Yeah. Shades of white, yeah.
But Fairburn, though, absolutely immaculate. 1 lap to go. He started mid to rear of the pack. Not this a huge pack of productions by any stretch of the imagination, but kept it clean.
He has.
And he's
building a lead.
He is. The pace that the 17 car. Now this is effectively Mum's Taxi. It's a Honda Tornio.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, he is the man behind Honda Service in Christchurch as he takes away the production race win there, followed by Westerman and Palmer. And that is our first round of racing completed of our Remembrance Champs, brought to us courtesy of Printwise.
Yep.
And that race was brought to us courtesy of MDS Design Kaiapoi.
Fantastic. So big thank you to all our sponsors. We simply couldn't run Speedway without them. We do try and mention them all. If you do hear their name, please, if you're working with them, buying product off them, getting services from them, tell them that you heard about them at Koken Woodford Glen, and they'll know that you appreciate their work and that they're we appreciate their involvement with the club here.
Oh, absolutely. Anything you, as someone who does sponsor an unnecessarily high amount of cars.
You do, yeah, you do. Your business does.
I think it was about 30 we did last year, and I think we're in the low 20s this year. Always mention where your sponsors, where you saw the name, because it just adds weight to sponsoring motorsport.
Absolutely, it does. Alrighty, so as you said, first round of racing completed. Ministocks will be back on the track very, very shortly, and we'll be back with them soon.
He got real.
They will
Lights out, you're going this time.
Racing as we come out of Enviro Waste. The pace setter is the 5 car on the outside. Mason Bland sitting back there, no one beside him. Reese Marsden's speeding the pace up and Pickles hasn't picked up. There we go, we're away now. We are giving them the green. They all dive down away from that wet bit of track, except for the 11 GM car. As the 15 car also, the smoke's still coming off that 55. And Pickles heads down the back straight past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand, battling there with Marsden. Williams in the 62 looking to join in. He's taken that low line, he's moved up. Hawley all over the back of Bland. Oh, we've got a bumper ride. We've had the 87 spun.
Yep.
And the 131 was up on top of Chris Williams' bumper. But we keep going. They've tidied themselves up. We're away racing. Pickles, though, that was just nice enough for him to give about a 15-20 metre lead over the 62 of Chris Williams as they head through Enviro Waste. Pickles stays high on the track. The 85 car into the back of the 197. Just because they look like stock cars doesn't necessarily mean they're allowed to drive like it.
They're not supposed to play like stock cars, no.
No. It was cool in the days when they could, though.
Yes, it was.
It was very cool. Anyway, Williams having a battle here with Pickles as we head down to Enviro Waste. It's going to be battle of the brakes. Not that they're carrying a lot of weight as they head through Enviro Waste. Mason Bland pops through, and he's going to battle now with Dave Pickles in the New Zealand Home Loans 5C. As they're going to come up on the back of the 23 car of Caitlin Ross. That could be a bit of a variable here. Pickles will have to go around. He does. And Mason Bland with Jack and Williams there, all concertinaing up. Hawley looks to move to the inside, up the inside of the Williams car. Pickles is having a battle here. If he wins it, he's certainly earned it. He has got a tiger by the tail. Mason Bland's gone to the outside. He's got the run as we head past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand. Hawley's on the back bumper too. 197 goes through on Pickles, but no, Pickles is going to get him under brakes. Mason Bland is the race leader now. First night in adult mini stocks. As Hawley goes up the inside of the 5 car. I think the 197 is going to try and follow the same suit as Dave Pickles just caught the bumps there and just started bouncing. No, something's gone wrong with the 5C. So he's getting spat out the back and
going backwards quickly.
Yeah, it's like a sea anchor out, but it is Bland. Back to Hawley. Hawley looks to the inside and
touching wheels.
He's just holding it there. He's sort of almost like intimidate to got to hit me to stop me. We go back to the 197, followed by the 62, the 51 car. So you got brother and sister here, 51 and 15, battling each other. How could that possibly end, Tony?
Yeah, interesting. Sibling rivalry.
You know what causes sibling rivalry? Having more than one child. Anyway, out in front, though, it is the 85 of Hawley with Mason Bland.
Not giving up Mason Bland, is he? He's right on the back of Hawley's car.
Well, on the back. He's literally on the back. In fact, if you're allowed contact, the 197 could have snookered both of them.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a drag race here. It's the 85 of Hawley, followed by Bland. Only by half a car, and Chris Williams there. I think Jack with Chris Williams.
So only fractionally over half a second covering the first 4 places there. That was a tight finish.
And as far as quality of racing goes, so far of the first groups, the adult ministocks
Yep, give it to these guys. You would.
It's
probably the best race yet, that one.
A consistent race there. Reece Marsden actually the fastest lap out of that one, a 22.099. We will be back with our Super Saloons ever so shortly, and I'm sure that they've got their composure back.
Let's hope so. Alright, so they're going to go this time round. Burson on the inside, Ryan Marsden on the outside. Malcolm Nartai tucked in on the second row. We're green and racing. Marsden gets the jump on Burson and Nartai moves up alongside him as well. But it's a bit rough and rocky there. The car's bouncing around and it's Cardwell who makes the progress through the middle. 3 wide down the back straight there as Burson, Richie Taylor and Hayden Mackay have a moment. But they've all got through. It's tight at the top. Cardwell inches his way to the front, just ahead of Richie Taylor. Car looks much more settled than Cardwell's at this stage though. And Hayden Mackay looking pretty ominously fast in there as well. Burson's not giving up. High entry speed into turns 3 and 4 there. Cloud of dust comes up. Not sure who that was. Was it Lockie Taylor or was it Josh Bolton? Doesn't matter really. Marsden's dropping back through the field a little bit there. Trevor Elliott has a moment at the front of the car, goes sky high. And Mark Osborne stuck in behind that group in front of him with nowhere to go. So Craig Cardwell has got to the front and is starting to build ever so slightly a lead over the 58 of Richie Taylor. They've got a couple of car lengths over the 86 of Hayden Mackay. We go back to Malcolm Nartai, who's looking pretty racy in that 19 machine. A few car lengths back to the 21 of Ian Burson. Lockie Taylor having a great race here in his only his second season in Super Saloons. Holding on to 6th place at the moment ahead of Josh Bolton. We've gone yellow.
Ian Stewart spun down the Enviro Waste. Isn't it impressive the way that both Cardwell and Taylor cut to the front?
Yeah, they did.
These are big cars comparatively.
Yep.
And they managed to get through without making contact. Well,
we assume so.
We
anyway,
assume so. Well, I'm sure there's probably others that will tell a different tale. But they cut through, and once they hooked up and went, they just left everybody standing there. But when they went 3 wide down the back straight with Burson, Mackay and Taylor, I was holding my breath. The fortunate thing is you've got 3 guys that will give you space, but they weren't giving each other much space.
Yeah, well, just as we said that.
Yeah, I should say that. Now, this is where you get snookering on the... Here we go. I'm waiting for the 18 and 43 cars to tube each other as we go racing, Tony.
Indeed. Let's go back to the front of the field. Craig Cardwell, Richie Taylor. Out wide near the wall goes Hayden Mackay, but that allows Malcolm Nartai to take over the 3rd place spot. And Mackay just has to yield slightly there. Malcolm's car gets a little sideways. Here comes Richie Taylor. He looks a little quicker than Cardwell at this point in the race.
Smoke off the 881.
Yep, so he had an oil leak issue. No, he didn't. No,
it
was the other car, wasn't it? It was Josh at the first race. Now, Burson's had a moment there and lost a bit of momentum, and that's allowed Lockie Taylor to make some progress on him. And in fact, Lockie Taylor trying to make the most of it there, but Burson cuts back in underneath him. Out front, Cardwell's under a lot of pressure from 3 cars behind him. Richie Taylor, Malcolm Nartai and Hayden Mackay. You get the feeling that Taylor's the quickest of that bunch at the moment. And Cardwell's gone a bit defensive now, I feel. He's just...
We're going to go yellow.
Yep.
Lockie Taylor had a moment there. Josh Bolton doing everything he could to avoid him, was on the brakes and literally slid on the grass. So I don't think there's any damage between the two of them, but Lockie there with the front bumper on the pole line twice.
Yep, on the infield, yes.
Yep, so you start going through it. There is
and Matt Summerfield's had 1 New Zealand rally.
Yes, yeah.
Championship.
Not
So-
quite the same.
But no.
Put some trees out there for him.
Yeah. All right, we're away and racing again. Cardwell, the front end of that car looks a little ragged as he tucks it into turn 1. Malcolm Nartai wants to see if there's something outside for him.
There's not.
No, didn't really work, did it? Hayden Mackay having a look at that line now. Richie Taylor just a little tiptoeing a little bit more than he was, not quite as aggressive. The aggression coming further back from Burson and Elliott, who are monstering the 54 car there. And
Watch
here comes
Osborne.
Osborne. Look at that, lifting that inside front wheel. The track's come to him now, and he's decided he needs to go for it. So we're 6 down, 6 to go. We're only half distance, just over that now. So still plenty of this race left. And Cardwell's got a handful. That car is handling awkwardly. And Richie Taylor must be eyeing the way that car is bouncing around in front of him and thinking, surely my opportunity is going to come sooner or later. I wonder if Malcolm Nartai is thinking the same from third place there. Mackay's dropped back a little bit. Here comes Osborne, threads the needle through the 21 and 14 cars. Again, lifting that inside front wheel.
But look at how balanced Osborne is. That's the difference. Everyone can lift the wheels and go high, but he is actually balanced.
Keeps his line right through the turns. It's a joy to watch, isn't it? So out front, Cardwell still holds on to the lead. The narrowest of leads from the 58 of Taylor and the 19 of Nartai. We go back about 10 or 12 car lengths to the 86 of Mackay, who's facing a challenge from Elliott. This will be 10 laps completed with 2 to go. Craig Cardwell, I don't know how he's doing it, but he's hanging on. It's racecraft. Richie's decided to go the higher line, see if there's anything out there. He'll probably cut back down low at some point if Cardwell, there we go, he tries to, but Cardwell cuts him off big time, forces Taylor onto the grass. White flag to time now. Nartai possibly fancies his opportunity to get past Taylor if that happens again on the next lap, but Cardwell's too far ahead, I think. So we've got one round there. We're still racing. I don't know if the referees have seen Ian Stewart's car parked in the turn 4 wall, but they're going to let the race go to the checkered. Hopefully the other drivers see it. They do. So it's Cardwell from Taylor from Nartai. The rest of the field goes through except for Ian Stewart, who backs out from his parking place.
Well, that's a first. I haven't seen that in a very long time. Craig Cardwell taking that away, but by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
He showed a lot of racecraft there, really, to shut Richie down. What would have been interesting, Tony, is had Osborne been in 4th place.
Yes,
if he had been on the back of the 19C car, that would have been very, very interesting. So the Super Saloons have been told to pack the corners. So pack it up high. The stock cars will be out next, and they don't need ruts or a rough track at that point.
No, they don't.
And judging by the fact that 1 or 2 of them aren't in love with the way they're racing with each other tonight, they really want some room to hit each other.
They do, don't they? Interesting, Matt Summerfield set his fastest lap of the race there at right at the end. So that was interesting for him. Good result.
敵を食らう
224 of Braden Lawton, new to contracted here to Woodford Glen this season, and he will be joined by Harley Robb in the 991. Rosewarne there in the 59. It was awesome to see Brad back in that cunning nature that he races in that last race, Ivan.
Yeah, it was good to see Brad back to his old ways, and good to see him getting a good run in that car, because that car's been a wee bit like the weather, up and down.
Well, when the car was built, he debuted it at King of the Coast, and without question, it was awesome.
Yep.
And then he put it back in the shed for winter, and it's not like cheese, it didn't cure, it just went off. and it's been to be fair, the start of the season for Brad's been a pig.
Yep.
So good to see him have a great result there. That being said, I'm led to believe someone else might be in the car shortly and might be taking it to the New Zealand title.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Someone who's, I think he's huggable.
Oh, that chap.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's only, I think, out of like 235 entries, I think 6 South Island cars.
Yes, I think 6 Christchurch cars.
And 1 Nelson.
Yes.
I think.
There's a couple of Cromwell cars there.
Might be 10.
The McDonald's are going to be there.
10 or 12 cars from the South Island.
As we look through, a bit of a gap in the middle there, so we have lost a couple of cars, then we go back, a gap behind the 68, we've got a gap in there, but we're in the starters' hands, we're going to go racing, we're keen to go, the 18 cars trying to, no, we're going to back them all up. Brad Rosewood's just assisting.
He's just going to sit there.
Well, he gave Harley a wee nudge to push him forward, squared them all up, but the 18 car will have to back hard up so it's bumper on bumper. There we go. Now, make sure the trick too is also to remember to put it back into first.
In the right gear.
We have seen that done here more than once. And we're away and racing. The 69 car not having a good start there. He gets clobbered on the way through. I wonder if that was a swing or not. The 18 car's always spat to the infield. Out in front though, Harley Robb is out there, so we know that name relatively well around here. The 706 car's to the infield.
Oh.
We're funneling down. This 97 car's been fired out to the wall. Jason Brooks in the middle of a little of that. The 94 car spun. The 9 car just gets walloped by Houston Jr. And we're bouncing off the wall down here. So who's going which way now? We've got in the wall there, Aris in the 69 car. Okay, so there might be a little bit of a battle there, is it? We're still racing. Everyone looks mobile. Hardy's parked over at 2. He's trying to get going. I think actually the red. And we've got Jason Brooks spun round down there. Aris is almost like he's waiting for a gap. He's backed off the 69 car of Manson. Manson's trying to back up. He's got nowhere. Here we go. He's just going to creep back.
Turn 1 and 2 is like a parking lot. 46 is now parked in the corner.
Yeah, but she's actually broken an axle.
So we're going red.
Brooke McPherson's actually, Brooks spears through the infield. So Hardy's not moving. 46 has got a broken axle, but Manson and Aris were actually trying to get into traffic.
They were moving, yeah.
Let's be fair. Aris does not want to go
Yep.
in front of Manson.
No.
Because there's obviously some love there.
Yeah. Sharing a Christmas cracker.
We're enjoying it.
It's what the crowd have come to see.
Yeah. And
so the 46 car, they just need to get the tractor hooked up to that because it's got a broken axle.
That is the cause of the red, I'd have to say. It was, you can't go ping these other guys. You could see that they were clearly trying to get into the flow. But also I'd be checking on the 12 car. If
I'd say, yep, while you hook the 46 up, just pull straight in behind the 12 and push that out of the way.
But certainly not the 69 and 5. I really want to see what happens between the 69 and 521. I've lost track of who's leading.
Well, yeah.
I'll wait for the ELS to roll over for us.
I think Harley's leading, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, no, that'd be cliche, wouldn't it? There was definitely some swing and some missing in the middle of that pack.
If any of you guys have stopped, give us a wave.
As we're
just watching the replay for the live stream.
It's a Hardy there.
Cars bouncing everywhere.
It was. The 71 car's just completely out of shape. As we move through, here we go. Oh yeah, Manson taking Aris to the wall.
Yep, they both went in pretty good too. Bit of chalk dust coming off.
You don't want to hit our wall.
That's pretty solid.
Look,
I know the contractors that did it.
I know how much Rio's in that wall and how thick the concrete generally is. The 12 car there's been given a wee nudge start. So Dan just seems to have a real issue when it stalls out, he can't refire it.
Yep.
So hopefully that's just something simple, but we'll get McPherson off the track with the broken axle. Harley Rob in the 991. Watch your mirrors, Harley. There's a lot of entertainment going on with a few of the other cars.
Yeah, exactly. So the 69 of Scott Manson is sitting there in an interesting position with a group of cars around him.
Well, the lead car, that's Harley's leading, and then move back to Sweeting, not to Sweeting, to Brad, then to Sweeting.
Yep.
And then Lawton with Ebb. It's fair to say I think that battle on the outside is just going to kind of happen by itself. So this telling the 74 car of Tyler Horton to roll forward. That's a new chassis to him. One of the Rob Racing chassis, similar to Harley Rob's car. I wouldn't be building your revs up too much. There's a push car still on the track. Give them the thumbs up so no one needs to be push started. And we're now back in the starter's hands. We watched the 991, our race leader. We watched the battle between the 69 and 521.
Lights out, lights out.
Got a funny feeling that's going to end up at turn 2. And the 69 gets going. Aris gets going as well. Race leader. Oh no, Aris is broken. He's parked by the wall. Well, that's a non-event, but he's off the race line and he's not interfering. So
not interfering. You should leave him there.
Yeah, plant a tree, get some shade. Anyway, our race leader, Harley Rob, heads through. Back to Brad Rosewarne. Back to Sweeting, who's battling there with the 99 car of Cox Senior. As we look around the tank here, taking the Callum Crew to the wall down the front straight.
And the 69 just getting taken into the wall by the 74 of Dave Houston Jr.
And does he stall the 74? No, he's just going to limp away. What happened there? And Ebb Young there as well. This sort of circulating past. The 24's parked. So Manson, they'll give him an opportunity. They could have parked him over by Aris. They could have had a conversation about life, contemplating what's going on. So we're still racing. Our race leader is still Harley Rob. The next carry's going to come up on the back of his sister. You'd have to say, you've got to be inclined to give family members a bit of a tickle up on the way past.
Oh, you'd need to. It's courtesy.
Well, red lights on. That's going to be for the 69 minutes, and they might as well grab Aris. Ebb Young's actually lost a shock absorber or torsion.
We've done a few laps with them parked there.
Yeah, or maybe he's given a thumbs
down.
Because that is the option. As a driver, you can try and refire your car, and if you give the thumbs up, you can stay there.
Yep.
If you give the thumbs down, I think it was in Ken's Cowboys and the stock car teams that there was a fine if you gave a thumbs down as part of as a team member in those stock car team racing days. But they go to push the 69 car in. Probably worthwhile if we've got the push car out there to give Aris the push in, but I think it's the front.
I think they're going to need to lift the front of the 521. I think that right front's giving them issues.
The cool thing is they're parked almost bumper across the pits from each other, so they can share pit crews to fix their cars.
That's what we like to hear.
Very helpful. Like that's going to happen. Anyway, as they'll get the 521 out. Harley Rob, he started about 3 or 4 rows back, so it's probably no surprise he got to the front quickly. Rosewarne's there, then we go back to Sweeting, and then quite a big gap further back.
So the top end ones have gone to the front.
You guys have stalled. Give us a wave.
They're just giving a signal from drivers that are stalled. Yeah, that's true as that. I'd say I'm a great believer that more rules just make smarter people think more.
Yeah.
As we go racing once again, everybody ekes away and gets a start. Yep, we are. Harley Rob there coming through on the 615. And then we go back to Rosewarne. Rosewarne's sensing he can catch. He's wickedly quick through enviro waste. Just tags the 615 out of the way. So Rosewarne's on the hunt here. He is, and this will put him in good points. It's actually going
quite fast.
This will put him in good points too, because I don't think because of that first race incident, Harley's got great points from the first race. So this will put Brad Rosewarne into the lead. And he's right on the back of Harley Rob. Now, this is white flag is out. No, the 18 car looks over. Don't know if you want to pull down in front of the 59 car at this point. And Wade Sweeting senses it too. He's all over the back of Brad Rosewarne. And Wade's going to give Brad the tap. And he does. Wade just does a Brad Rosewarne on him, slides through. Harley's going to get the checkered. The 18 car sweeps down in front of the 151, and it allows Sweeting to take second, back to Brad Rosewarne. That was quite a nice little racing finish at the end there.
And funnily enough, Wade Sweeting in the 151 car set the fastest lap with a 19.92. So everybody else looking at it in mid-20s. Top guys as the ELS just rolls over again. So Wade Sweeting set the fastest lap time, but when we have a look, they're all in the 19s. Brad Rosewarne did a 20.25, 20.59 for Lawton. So they're all in those 20s. Troy Cleveland down to a 19.95, down in 9th. So yeah, they're sitting around that 19, mid to high 19 mark.
That's super quick around this track for 1,500 kilos and 300 horsepower.
Yeah, exactly. Like obviously there's still plenty of driving in the track. It dusted up a wee bit earlier on, but it's a wee bit cool outside. I was out around having a walk around before.
Just looking at how much carnage we've got on the infield to be repaired after that race.
Yeah, exactly. There's a fair bit to pull in.
And Wade Sweeting, actually, just we haven't mentioned that he raced up in Rotorua a couple of weeks ago.
He did.
And did exceptionally well for really the first big stock car meeting of the season for
that was that charity meeting that they run.
Yep.
So yeah, so that race there was brought to us by Complete Tyre and Auto.
The St. Nicholas is a familiar sight around Bluff as she steams out to capture Can-Do Fishing's famous Bluff Kinner. Once caught, the Kinner is brought back to the purpose-built factory in Bluff where it is processed, packed and shipped fresh to you. But that's not all that Can-Do Fishing can do for you. Try some of their greenbone fish or delicious power products and you'll soon see why seafood from the Bluff is world famous. So head to your local fish market or supermarket and ask for Can-Do Fishing Kinner, fish or power. Can-Do Fishing, there's nothing we can't do for you.
What you think you do with your four-wheel drive. What you actually do with your four-wheel drive.
No matter what you do with your four-wheel drive, we've got the right tyre for you. So come on down to Mag and Turbo.
Scott Woodhouse, Willie Woodhouse, and on the outside we've got the 24 of Martin from Glenn and Rick Tabley, and the Peterson car and Blair Lee at the back of the field. So Ashton Osborne leads us away from Sam Martin, whose car is just bouncing around a little bit there, and Woodhouse gets the better of turn 2, gets alongside Martin down the back straight. Ashton Osborne, though, seems to have the race by the scruff of the neck at this point in time. Completes the first lap with a few car lengths ahead of the second and third cars who are dicing it out there. Willie Woodhouse leading Blair Lee, and 433 Peterson coming on strong now. Rick Tabley starting to drop out the back of the field. Coming through Enviro Waste out of turn 4. Ashton Osborne's his race to lose now from there. He just needs to bring it home, drive sensibly. He's done the hard work in those first 2 laps, built the lead. He can bring it home from here for sure. Scott Woodhouse having a great race. ahead of Sam Martin in the 24 car. Willie Woodhouse on the back of him with the 17 of Blair Lee just a little held up by those two battling in front of him at the moment. The gap opens, and like the parting of the Red Sea, Blair Lee dives on through. Matt Peterson does as well, and these two starting to make some forward progress. Osborne experiments with the higher line through 3 and 4. Seem to be quite successful, judging by the increasing gap back to the 7 car, who's on his own in second place now. Out the inside on the tighter line comes the 17 of Blair Lee, underneath Willie Woodhouse. He's just having real difficulties getting the power in that 71 car down at this meeting. I'm just not sure what's going on
Almost
there.
like it was pogo sticking.
Yeah, it's just not quite working for him. And Blair Lee now tucked in behind the 7 of Woodhouse, looking for an opportunity to get past. Matt Peterson's hard on his tail as well. Meanwhile, out front, Ashton Osborne doesn't really need to worry too much about what's going on behind him. So nothing in front of him, and a big gap behind him of 2.5 seconds. And he can just put that 16 car where he wants it on the track, get it to do what he wants it to do, and stay out front of this field. Just the one lap to go as he comes across start finish now in the white zone for Ashton Osborne. Scott Woodhouse having a great race here for him in second place, holding on nicely ahead of Blair Lee. Matt Peterson wants to get a wriggle on, taking the higher line round the outside now to see if he can get past Lee, but he hasn't really got the go forward. You'd have to say a comfortable, relatively easy race win for Ashton Osborne in the 16 car. Excellent result for Scott Woodhouse. He'll be pumped there to take second ahead of Blair Lee, Matt Peterson, Willie Woodhouse, Rick Tabley and Sam Martin at the back of the field, with a car that's sounding a little bit off.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how the points unfold after that one. Of course, 3-heat final, 3-heat racing, so we'll
3-heat
see,
championship, yeah.
See how that unfolds. Fastest lap there was an 18.28 by Matty P. Now, interesting enough, when we ran these as A grades years ago, 18.5 was the maximum speed you could go.
Yeah. Yeah, if you went better than 18.5, you were considered a super saloon, weren't you?
Which, actually, looking at all of those, there was only one car that didn't do that in that race.
Yeah.
So
how times have changed, technology's moved on.
Started life out as the Wade tank.
Oh, okay. Yep. On his outside, we go to the 44, Ollie Sutton, and the PTS Norwood sponsor machine. Behind him, the 4C, Braden Lennon, Anderson Decorators, Bromley Auto Spares. Back down on the inside, we've got the 19C, Challenge YMAC, Suck It Up Limited, Nartai Racing, Malcolm Nartai. Then we go back to the 88 of Macmillan, and the Suck It Up sponsor machine, Transform Graphics. James Stein and Caleb West, the next two cars are behind them, the Onyx Home sponsor machine. We're about to go green. And we're away in racing. The 66, he just gets shunted by Malcolm out of the way.
By the time he came back, Malcolm was gone.
He's handling that steering wheel like he's shuffling cards. Anyway, our race leader, the 79, Ben Hearn, down the back straight. Nartai, look at the speed of that 19 car as he picks him up. as they go through 3 and 4. Wilson's, the tank goes round. Everybody manages to avoid him, but the screaming 6. Who have we got down the back?
Lennon's taken West to the wall.
That's payback, I'd say.
And West is trying to push him back across the track. They're going to end up both going to the grass. They'll have to tidy each other themselves up.
So the race carries on. West, he takes off again. Malcolm Nartai, the Challenge Y Max sponsor machine, he takes over the lead. Ollie Sutton in the 44 car, having a great run here in that second spot. Then we go back to Hearn in the 79. Harley Robb driving the Zell construction machine tonight, the 10 car. Shoots down low underneath the 79 as they come through 3 and 4. Nartai still leading us over Sutton. Then we go back to Harley Robb. Hearn in the 79. And behind them we've got the 23 of Berry just being passed by James Stein in the 14. Wilson in the 153s having not a bad run. The second Berry in the 32, he's just in behind him. Lennon gets going again. Then we go back to Riley Evans in the 7. Happy Paul in 91. And just tagging Happy as the 88 of McMillan. Bringing up the rear will be the tank, the 66 out of Nelson. But back up the front, Malcolm Nartai, 19C, comes past us again. CHS sponsor machine. Harley Robb's taken over that second spot over Ollie Sutton in the 44. James Stein now, he's moved up into that 4th spot in front of Ben Hearn in the 79. Then we've got Mitch and Jake Berry, the 23-32 cars. Braden Lennon, he'll be a lap down. Wilson in the 153. Back to Happy Paul. Then we go back to Riley Evans, McMillan in the 88. 66 out of Nelson, and Caleb West in the 34. But our race leader, Malcolm Nartai's open up a dozen.
Got a wee push on the car mid-corner.
Good time to find those sorts of things out. She's going to be hot up in Napier, I'm picking. So Nartai leads us through 1 and 2 over Harley Robb in the 10 car, the Zell construction sponsored machine. Then we go back to Ollie Sutton, who's just getting passed up the inside by the 14, the continuous spouting. 88 pulls to the infield with a bit of smoke.
Hopefully just a wheel gate.
Our leader coming off turn 2, Nartai. Then we go back to Robb in the 10 car, followed behind Thine in the 14, Ollie Sutton in the 44. Back to the 2 Berry brothers, 32-23. Braden Lennon's just in there, but he'll be lapped down. White flag this time round for Malcolm Nartai in the 19 car. The race is for 2nd and 3rd. Can James Thine in the 14, a continuous group car, get past the 10 car of Harley Robb as they go into 3 and 4? Is Thine going to give him a bit of bumper? Gives him a bit of a tap.
You bet she is.
Nartai takes the win. Harley Robb's going to hang on for 2nd, and James Stein in the 14 3rd. Then we'll go back to Sutton, will be in 4th. The 2 Berries, 23-32, will come through next. In behind them, I'm picking as Ben Hearn. Then we go back to Robin Wilson, Happy Paul, Riley Evans, and the 66 out of Nelson, Caleb West and Braden Lennon black down. Jared.
So that's going to put Fine on top on points, I'm guessing, at the moment, going into that final heat. Good to see Malcolm get a good run there, but all right down to 9th place, all under 20-second laps. That was fast.
And Braden Lennon set the quickest lap time with an 18.83.
hill. We're in the starter's hands. We're all grid, bumper to bumper. And it's a Peterson front row. Peterson outside line as we look at the start. The 26 car of Pedley it was. Pulls down, Jackson goes through, Matty P goes to the outside in the 433 back to Steve, and Brooke in the 426 or 428. As we look further back through the pack, Simon Bland, former GP winner here, gets into the back of Travis Slade. He weaved around McGregor in the 73 and just tubed the 6 car. We watch the 2NZ of Mike Jones that go out to the wall. He's going to catch Pedley. Look at the speed of the 2NZ. He was in a different league coming down the back straight. As we head through EnviroWaste, Pedley will wash out wide. Jones just sets the car a little bit taily off 4, but he's got the better line going down into turn 1. Matty P in the 433 will drop down there as well. Steve will follow, as will the 35 of Garthley. Garthley's car there decided to take a big step out of the wall and ride the wall. And here comes the GOAT in the 46. Pedley's got a bit of a battle going on. This is all going to change at the front here shortly, I'm picking. Jones has gone high.
Peterson coming to join the party.
Yeah, he's gone down low. Pedley's there. But if you want to go wheel to wheel with Mike Jones, you better run into that corner real deep and fast. And look who's coming through here in the 35. It's John O'Garthley. He gets up the inside of Matty P. And he seems to be the one that's almost got like the
turbo bar.
The nitrous flowing. Goes to that inside line. He might have picked up here on the 2NZ. Pedley's not going to have an answer for this unless Jones gets into the rear bumper. And it's almost like there's something hanging off the back of the 35 car. Like the boot tray's fallen out or something. But Pedley having a wee battle here. Oh no, he's hit the rut and it's given it over to Garthley. You can see what I'm saying, can't you, Tony?
Yeah, there is definitely something hanging out the back of the car. It's dragging on the track, I think.
It's like a rudder. Not that it's helping him off turn 3 and 4. Jones on the inside. Go back to Matty P, Steve P and Brooke. Father and the 35 car just came to a bit of a halt there. Pedley and the 2NZ go through, as does Matty P. Flames belching out the 35 car. It's got it looks like it's got a gnarly miss. So 2NZ and Mike Jones leads us back to Cody Pedley and Matt Peterson in the Mag and Turbo. And I think we might have, we've parked it by the wall, but we're limped. I think Jono's going to try and limp that car around just to circulate. He's going straight. Flat tyre. Red light is
Sean
on.
Andrews' tyre exploded down the front straight here. I heard it and I saw something fly off it. That's probably what they're going to
pick up. Yeah, well, Garthley's got a flat tyre as well. I think he was...
there we go, a little bit of tyre picked up off the track.
Also lost the 79 car, the 17 and the 16 car over there as well. The track is pretty hard packed tonight. It's going to make a very greasy track for the Derby.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, a bit of water on that would be quite slippery.
Of course, we know most of the people here in the stadium are probably here for that ramp race Derby, aren't they?
Probably so.
Probably. I mean, we know the racing's good, but probably that ramp we're going to stick in the middle of the back straight is going to be the one that we're waiting for.
That's what the kids want to see. They want to see cars airborne.
Well, we can do it before the Derby. We just got to talk really nicely. And Matt Peterson really slow to start, and Brooke managed to duck up the inside and get through on her father. She's going to now battle for. I have to look to the ELS here. Her and Simon Bland battling for third, and we've got the red. We're brake testing.
6, the infield.
Okay,
you probably already knew that.
6 cars been sent to the infield. And the 36 car's gone there as well. 6 car seems not to have its headset working.
It must have been just 36.
36. And Brooke Peterson moves into second. Right on the back of Mike Jones. She's in the pre-cut construction 428. And it is Jones leading us round. He has 2 to go once he crosses the start-finish line. Brooke there having a bit of a battle there with Pedley. And the 1NZ and Simon Bland in the 31V there battling it back for some of the minor spots. It is the 2NZ all the way as he heads past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand down to Envirowaste. Mike Jones goes in, a little puff of smoke off the back of it. Brock Peterson in the 428 gets a little tap there from Pedley. No point being on the rear bumper because if you're not beside the car, you ain't going to pass them. You can sit behind them all you like. But it is the 2NZ. Bland has gone high and wide and he's got the tail of the big Falcon hanging out. He's on a run here, so the battle is going to be for second as we head through. 2NZ comes through Envirowaste. Brooke Peterson, she's carried the momentum wide. She'll take second. The win goes to Mike Jones, then Brooke, and then third place it will be Simon Bland, but it was a three-way split. And you know, I can say something really facetious here because the Petersons will understand this. Brooke put all the concentration into that race and took away a good second place.
She did. Great drive.
I may have suggested a week or two ago that she loses concentration.
Did you?
I may have. And her twin brother may have bought the stream. He may have replayed it numerous times.
Oh, really?
And so
okay. Well, full credit to Brooke Peterson then.
Yeah, but Mike Jones taking
seriously. Good drive.
Awesome drive there. Simon Bland coming through for third. Cody Pedley, Steve Peterson. Pedley was there all that race.
He was.
Paul Leslie. Now.
Points.
Let's start with, who do we start with? We'll start with the Super Saloons that I've got in my hot little hand. Or pasty white hand as the case may be. Probably not a huge surprise. As we look at the points, it's a suck-it-up car leading.
And suck-it-up car second.
Actually, take a look at the points.
Oh, they're even. Yes.
No, so Mark Osborne and Malcolm Nartai in the Super Saloons heading up the points on 27 points each. 1 point ahead of Craig Cardwell on 26. Hayden Mackay on 25. Richie Taylor, who's making it look awfully hard for himself out there tonight, we're on 23, but he's tied with Trevor Elliott, who's kind of been in that sort of that mid area, with Ryan Marsden on 7th spot on 19 points.
Those are the guys realistically in it with a chance to win it.
But interesting just to see the two suck-it-up cars. I mean, discretion's the better part of Valley here, Mark. You've just sold a brand new car to Malcolm and you don't really want to beat him in his old car. So let's see what you can't take the racer out of it though. But Craig Cardwell in a great position there. So 3 points over the top 4 cars and then only 2 or 3 places back to Richie Taylor. So we then move to the stock cars.
And on the stock cars, of course it's a big long list, but we won't go through all of it. Brad Roseborn, the 59 cars, leading. He's 1 point ahead of Wade Sweeting in second place, and then 5 points back to Craig Robb, who's 1 ahead of Harley Robb, who's 2 ahead of Tyler Horton, and Troy Cleveland in the 88 car. He's been quick this season. He's in 6th place. So realistically, probably one of the winners. The winner's going to come from one of those 6 cars, but at the moment it's Brad Roseborn. Who has the narrowest of advantages in that stock car championship.
Me personally, not just because we sponsor him, I'd love to see Craig Robb win it. Sensing that something's going to happen around Harley tonight.
Oh yeah.
He's not scared of using the bumper, but also really pleased. Well, actually, no, Wade could win it too because we sponsor him as well. So. What are the golf carts? But Brad Roseborn there having a great. Now, then of course we move over to the Super Stocks as the modifieds head out. We'll get to them shortly. The Super Stocks. Malcolm Nartai leading in points on 33 points.
Yep.
But 1 point behind him, James Thine.
Yep.
Now those two are if there's no contact in that grade, those two are so far ahead it's almost silly. But then we've got Jake and Mitch Berry tied for 3rd spot on 27 points.
Yeah.
And then Harley Robb, who's he had a shocking first race, but he's on 22. So what it's saying is there's an awful lot of inconsistency in that Super Stocks. But if it's just a one-on-one race, it's between Nartai and Fine. We have 3 guys, Wallace Cooper and Wandell, all 0 points. Braden Lennon has only 5. He's at the bottom end of that field. He's the lowest on points. But to be fair, things didn't go so well in the first race. No.
Luck's been an issue there for him tonight. Better to get that out of the way tonight than in 2 weeks' time at the New Zealand title.
And I think we've just got more points than coming through, and I think I might even have a 50-50 ticket to give us a result. As our modifieds, we do. We've got a 50-50 result. And what have we got? Yep, we've got a minute or two before. Actually, we've got a minute or two before we go racing with the. So Simon Bland is leading on 39 points in the street stocks. Then we go back to Matt and Brooke Peterson on 33. Another sibling battle there. Chuck, the old man, who's actually the next one, he's tied with Paul Leslie on 31 points. So realistically, top 5 cars. Once again, if no contact, Simon Bland has got this in the bag if no one wants to hit him.
Otherwise, the odds of a Peterson taking away a podium here are pretty high.
There's a little part of me that really would like to see Brooke beat Matt, but that's only my opinion. Anyway, the modified's out there. This race is brought to us by... Who's it brought to us by, Tony?
Some really good guys. The Horsepower Heads, actually. Yep.
Kevin Ban.
Yeah. Powerful sponsors, those.
And we do have the result for the 50-50, and it's a nice little couple of $1,000 to take home.
Oh, very good. And you've got a couple of tickets there.
Yeah, sadly it's not one of those.
No, you've already checked. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've definitely checked. But I tell you, it is from one of the last books that was sold out.
Oh, right. Yes.
So it's and I can tell you someone's taking home $2,102.
Wow.
So someone is going to having a better night than a Derby driver or any of these race car drivers who are racing for trophies. You can buy yourself one and probably get a replica made.
Alrighty, so Modified's about to kick off their next heat with the green in Brian's hand. Away we go, and Dan Ray around the outside takes the early lead. Jacob Mitchell following him through, and up the inside the 9 of Gary Lennon as well. Lindsay Gilbert had a great run there through 1 and 2 also. Cassandra Mass is in the mix ahead of Chunks Corbett in the 22. The cars from Greymouth, Scott Ritchie and Reuben Brown are third and second to last, and at the back of the field Evan Nicol in the 13. So Jacob Mitchell's got ahead there. He's starting to build a lead over the 24 car Dan Ray, who's under a bit of pressure from Gary Lennon in the 9. Lindsay Gilbert going in very hot there through into turn 4. Had to back out a bit before he hit the 9 car of Lennon. He did so, and he's still racing, and both of them are doing quite well. But out front, monstering this track, is the 18 car, the Love Lady of Mitchell. Second place, Dan Ray, another Love Lady car. Then we go back to the third place car, another Love Lady, that's Gary Lennon in the 9 machine, who's fighting off the 8 of Lindsay Gilbert. So that's 4 laps down now for Jacob Mitchell. Dan Ray still holding on to second place. Gilbert's got past Lennon. Lennon's fighting back around the outside. No, he just has to check his speed there coming out of turn 2, and that's given Lindsay Gilbert a bit of breathing space. So Jacob Mitchell ticks off another one. 16.2 that last lap, Jacob Mitchell. Quickest was a 16.05 just a couple of laps before. Down the round the turn 4 and down the front straight comes Jacob Mitchell. It's 6 down, 4 to go for him now. And he's got this race under control. He can afford to just button off a little bit now, pick his line, choose where he wants to put that car, make Dan Ray do all the hard work of chasing him down. Third place, Lindsay Gilbert. That car just slowed up there between turns 3 and 4, but he's hit the gas again and he's away. Gary Lennon fighting a bit of wheel spin in that turn 9 car. You can see that as he was going through the turns. There's Jacob Mitchell, ticks off lap 8 for this 10 lap race. Dan Ray, a long way to go to try and catch Mitchell. Can't see that happening. I can't see Lindsay Gilbert getting particularly close to Dan Ray either. Side-by-side action through start finish to the back of the field, but there's the white flag for the 18 of Jacob Mitchell. Just 1 lap to go. Dan Ray's following him through. Lindsay Gilbert in 3rd. Gary Lennon in 4th. Reuben Brown's come through for 5th. Scott Ritchie racing hard there with Corbett. But there's your checkered flag. The race win goes to Jacob Mitchell in the 18 car. 2nd place Dan Ray. 3rd Lindsay Gilbert. And the quickest lap time was that 16.05. Jacob Mitchell did very early in the race.
Well done to Jacob there. That'll put him tied on points with Dan Ray going into their final race. And I know we talk about this being our Remembrance Champs. And this, of course, this race win probably has a little bit of a meaning here for Jacob, because it's 11 years today since his granddad, John Rogers, former Super Saloon driver, former president of Woodford Glen, passed away. So, of course, we meant to race yesterday, so it just rolled to this date. So 11 years today since the passing of John. So, probably we've win just a little bit more for the Mitchell family and, of course, the Rogers family.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done to Jacob Mitchell.
It's action for the whole family. With 23 tracks around New Zealand, there is no better way to spend your weekends than at a Speedway New Zealand track.
Here they come to the start-finish line again.
There's something for the whole family. Sprint cars, saloons, stock cars, sidecars, midgets, and much, much more. Pack up the family and make a trip to adrenaline-filled, action-packed bashes and crashes that only Speedway can deliver. Visit www.speedway.co.nz to find out the track nearest to you. Speedway, it's our summer thing.
Technical Welding Services Hamilton are specialists in the transit concrete mixer industry. From chassis drop-off to a full working concrete mixing, the team will take care of the job from start to finish. Full engineering services and general sheet metal work can also be undertaken. Need a quote? Call 07 847 2031 or visit our website www.techweld.nz. Technical Welding Services Hamilton, we are the experts.
So thank you to everyone for supporting the 50-50. We're building new club rooms here at Koken Woodford Glen.
Brick by brick.
Yes, dollar by dollar. All right, so Production Saloons out for their next heat of the night. And that's like Ian Clark with the 21 car. Out front from Vaughan Fairburn in the 17, Stephen Palmer in the 78 car around the outside, trying to get a pass done on Vaughan Fairburn. Good luck with that. 85 in the mix there too. That's Matt Bailey in the FTO. So, Ian Clark holds on to the lead.
Oh, we've got a bumper.
We've got a bumper on the track.
Yeah,
someone's run over it already.
Well, when the bonnet is 4 to 6 inches higher than the guard, and there's a rear bumper missing, you don't have to look far to see the culprit.
No, you don't.
Watching the front straight.
Just putting it out there. Just being.
So we go yellow whilst we clean up the track.
Only one big piece of plastic.
In front of the next car in front of you.
It's how to announce your return to the sport by running to the back of another computer. As we watch the replay, courtesy of the Pits TV, and down in there, and
Going lights out.
it was almost a straight line. I'd be proud of that if I was driving a stock car. But is Alfie at the front. Ian Clark in the 21. He jumped that start on Fairburn. He wasn't going to give Vaughan the chance to get close to him.
So can he keep him behind him for the rest of this race, though?
I wouldn't hold my breath.
Away we go. Clark from Fairburn.
Almost like they're trying to box Fairburn in, but he's actually, I think he's so far ahead on points going into this one, you just about got to take him out for him not to win it.
Yeah. So Clark leads again after the first completed lap with the restart. Vaughan Fairburn in second place. Matt Bailey and Stephen Palmer jinking it out there. And just a lot of flapping rear bumper on Bailey's car too, by the look of it. The 28 car of Westerman starting to close up, and Phileas tucked in behind him too. Then away back to Rooney and the other two cars at the back of the field there, Will Sherlock, and it's Tristan Bullmore in the 22 car tonight, according to the ELS anyway. So it's tight at the top, isn't it, with Vaughan Fairburn looking for the higher line to get past Ian Clark. But Clark's one of those drivers that just resolutely drives the same line lap after lap after lap. He knows what's the quickest way around this track for him and his car, and everyone else has to go around him. He's not going to make a mistake. He's not going to let you through up the inside. You've got to do the work to pass him. Fairburn trying his level best, but there's perhaps not quite as much grip on that mid to high line of the track as Clark's getting lower down, and Clark is able to keep his car in front. The 85 car's now worked its way up the inside of Fairburn while Fairburn was searching that higher line.
Vaughan doesn't have to wreck his car to win the Remembrance Champs.
No, and he's smart enough to know that too.
He just has to be there or thereabouts in this race. Whereas Bailey is determined to drive into something with the front bumper.
Yes, he's got to get to the front. It's an imperative for him, isn't it? Stephen Palmer keeping an eye on these three as well. If any one of them trips over, he'll easily take over the podium place as well. So white flag waves, 1 lap to go. Will Bailey have a last corner dive at Ian Clark? Will Fairburn sneak up the inside? No, Fairburn gets Taylor there on the, maybe a tiny bit of contact, don't know, down the back straight. Clark's still ahead. I don't think Bailey's close enough to try anything at this point in time, well, other than that. And the 21 of Ian Clark takes the win.
And that'll mean that Vaughan Fairburn is the Remembrance Champ for 2023-24.
Should do, shouldn't it? Yeah.
He kept that clean. He knew he didn't have to battle Clark. And to be fair
Actually,
to Bailey...
No, we've got another heat to go.
Oh, have I got that wrong?
Yeah, no, you've got that wrong.
I've got completely wrong.
You got that wrong. We've only had one heat so far. You're getting,
really?
you're getting ahead of yourself.
Well, he still didn't have to do it because Bailey crashed out of the last one. So.
Yeah, well, there you go. True, too.
Screwed that one up. Oh, well.
We'll come back when we've had a lie down and a few aspirins, and see you soon.
be. Then we've got Stuart Jack in the 198 to the outside in the second row there with the 11 car of Katie Shearer. We go racing and we kind of went nowhere. Flag went, everybody moved, but nobody actually went anywhere. As the 51 and 84 lead us down into turn 1. The 51 car down low. Whoa, we've got the 15 car of Jack Watermoff spins around. Does he keep it all in one shape? I mean, while his sister's at the other end leading the race. One of the Hawley cars there has gone very, very slow, gone back through the pack. It's Chris Williams in second, back to the and Shearer spins across the track. She was very, very fortunate. There was a gap there. Just about as she pulls straight back out in front of the 84 car. The 62 just given the wee bit of a hurry up to the 51. And the 93 of Shade and Andrew McCartney there joining in for fourth. Out in front, Simone Watermouth in the 51, battling for second is the 85 of Tyler Hawley with Chris Williams. 51 car just gets a little unsettled, just catching the hand. She gets crossed up and gets straightened up by the 85 of Hawley, who was coming through, and he's doing little pirouettes on the infield.
Quite a few of them.
Yeah, a couple of them. I think he got on the gas thinking it was going to pull straight. It doesn't. Grass, unfortunately, this time of year, especially after the rain, a little bit damp on that infield. As the race leader goes through on Caitlin Ross, who's circulating down low, back to the 93, and then the 87 of Reese Marsden. The 197 of Samuel Jack is looking to make some moves here with Mason Bland in the 131, going right on the back of the 51. Out in front though, it is Chris Williams with Shady coming up the inside in the 93. He goes past as they head past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand, down to Enviro Waste. Oh, Shady gets on the brakes, gets a little I think he was really late on the brake even by his own standards, but it managed to work for him. Reese Marsden is closing in on Chris Williams at the moment, but we halfway through this race, I'd say Shady in the 93 has managed to open a bit of a gap over the 62 of Williams. The 197's come through into fourth, and I'll give him a couple of laps. He'll be right on the rear bumper of Reese Marsden. It appears if you paint your car blue, Tony, you're going to travel in a pack at the back.
It does, yeah. They just
used to be green race cars. Used to be
last, but now it's pale blue ones. Yeah.
Anyway, out in front, our race leader 93 clocks up another lap. 4 to go. Back to Chris Williams, and then here is the battle for third between the 197 and the 87. As we head past the Valley Cars Warehouse grandstand once again. And really we're just lapping this one out. Shady is in a great position. Be interested to see where he finishes up on points, but Chris Williams there, he is being caught by the 87 of Marsden and Sam Jack in the 197. They've got two laps to go. As the white flag's in the starter's hands, they'll get it as they come through Enviro Waste. A couple of back markers they're just going to contend with. The 84 car there gets, as the 93 goes through, back to the 62. Only place I can foresee changing at this point is going to be for third, as Williams goes through on Hawley, but out in front it is Shade and Andrew McCartney. As we head into Enviro Waste, Chris Williams isn't going to have anything. Oh, Marsden does the big bounce and opens the door for Jack. We knew that Jack would pounce if he got the opportunity, and I actually think that Marsden might have got a flat tyre out of that. Oh no, all four of them are still attached and on there, but the win going to the 93, followed by Williams, Sam Jack, Reese Marsden, and fastest lap was actually Mason Bland in the 131, a 21.89, which is not a huge surprise. That makes him about as quick as the old man.
He's had a good night actually, Mason Bland.
As we look in the chute, the Super Saloons will be out for their final race.
pedestrian pace down the back straight there. They've all got to be an Indian file, one Indian file, one behind the other.
Delaware.
Yeah. So here we go, out of turn 4, the lights go green, and up the inside, Craig Cardwell got an excellent start there too. And if any, Malcolm Nartai's car speared up in the air and a little bit sideways. Here comes Hayden Mackay, gets through on Mark Osborne. Osborne's not having any of that though, look at that. Very late on the brakes round the outside and very wide, and there's a bit of a logjam behind him as Elliott just gets through on the 58 of Richie Taylor, but it's Malcolm Nartai. Osborne had a moment there and Cardwell wanted to capitalise on it and has. So has Richie Taylor. Osborne's going backwards at this point. So it's Malcolm Nartai leading from the 86 of Mackay, a few car lengths back to Trevor Elliott, another car lengths back to Richie Taylor. Then we've got one over.
Oh, yellow.
It's Osborne over.
It is.
We're on red.
And that was a big one.
That was big. It got lots of hang time.
He came down from quite a height there. So Mark's out of the car. Give him a round of applause and welcome him back to the track the right way up. That was
guys know that Mark is out of the car.
So yeah, it was a gnarly roll there. It looks like the car's actually dug in with its own front. We suspect, and hopefully when we get the opportunity to see a replay, that it's actually broken the right front corner down at Enviro Waste. And as he's come down to turn 1, turned it in, it's just dug in. And we're going to watch the replay up here, so we'll be able to get to see it. We'll probably see it 1 or 2 times. So those of you in the stadium, he's come down the front straight. It looks pretty reasonable. He's turned in, and it looks like it's just collapsed on that right front, and it's just barrel rolled and end-fended. Ian Burson's done well to avoid him.
He did well to pull it up, didn't he?
As we watch it, the car was quite loose coming down the straight. He was holding it. He chased Cardwell into the corner. As he dug it in, it bicycled. Oh no. It's
hard to see exactly what happened there.
It bicycled in. He actually rode the top of the wall.
The car was loose, but there's no clear evidence of anything breaking at that point, is there, on that replay? It's not like you can see something fly off the car or the car suddenly drop. Tricky. Yeah, and interesting looking at the 58 car there with all the fireworks out the side.
Hopefully our rescue crew can hear us, because you probably want to go down and put the fire out on the side of Richie's. Oh no, it's exhaust. It's just exhaust. And if you can hear us, gas the car. So Richie, your exhaust is on fire. If you can hear us, mate. And you may want to... As we watch the replay again, Mark, it was almost like he had a sea anchor on the car, Tony. It was just going backwards. He's turned it in, and I just wonder if it's just bicycled. Something's hooked in there, and she's gone over big time. He's clipped the top of the wall with the front of the car as it bounced back down, and that was the awkward part. They actually had to drag the car on its roof slightly sideways so Mark could get out. Yes, you are supposed to be able to get out of both sides of the car, but when you're upside down, it's a tad awkward.
Yeah, I'm inclined to suggest the car just bicycled and just a tad too far and started to spin and went over. And they've put out the
just a little
flaming
bit
exhaust.
Yeah, got to keep the car down at turn 3 entertained, because Lord knows all the action at moments at 1 and 2. But yeah, the fire truck will get there eventually. Yeah, fortunately, a lot of damage to that car. Malcolm Nartai, lap 2 completed of 15.
Yes.
He's got 13 laps to wonder. Now, he will have seen down the track that was his car being taken back to the pits.
In a very sorry-looking state, probably.
So they'll be...
He would have noticed.
Lights out, he's going this time.
So they are going to go racing as we come out of EnviroWaste. Cars haven't had a lot of time to warm up, although they've had plenty of time to sit there and cool down over the last 10-15 minutes.
So Nartai from Mackay, Elliott, Taylor, Cardwell. Rest of the field strung out down the back. Kane Lawson's joined back in. We're green, we're racing, we're away again. And Malcolm Nartai under a bit of pressure from Hayden Mackay. And round the outside comes Craig Cardwell looking for some grip on the higher line. Doesn't really find it, doesn't make an awful lot of go forward there. And Ryan Marsden sneaking up the inside, putting a bit of pressure on Cardwell too. Might get his nose in front down the straight. He does. Cardwell's got a little bit more power by the end of the straight. But I think, not sure that high line's working for Cardwell just yet. He gets some good grip out of turn 2 though. Gets the pass done on Ryan Marsden. Out front, Malcolm Nartai. We've got one round. It's Richie Taylor.
Now that was caused by Elliott running into the back of Mackay, and Richie had to check up under brakes.
Okay.
But he kept moving, so I think he knew his night's been pretty average. So.
Yeah, perhaps not too concerned about it. So Malcolm Nartai leads. He's a couple of car lengths ahead of Hayden Mackay, who's a couple of car lengths ahead of Trevor Elliott, who's come on strong in this last race, the final. Cardwell just getting a little left behind here at this point. He's still got Marsden on his tail. And we've still got a bit of flame coming out the 58 car of Richie Taylor there.
I think he's actually just set fire to the infield.
Yeah.
It's burnt out, that's fine.
So hot on the 54 car is the 6 of Kane Lawson. He's starting to build up a bit of speed now and challenging Marsden. We go back a few car lengths to the 21 of Ian Burson, the 18 of Bardsley, the 73 of Fluffy near the back of the field, and right at the back we've got Lockie Taylor in the 14 and Paul Power in the 43. So we go back front side in the 19 car of Malcolm Nartai down the back straight, past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand, through EnviroWaste turn he goes, keeping it reasonably tight, not too loose and flamboyant this time round. And the 27 car of Elliott has got through on Mackay and is starting to challenge Nartai. You get the feeling that Elliott's the quickest car out there at the moment. Nartai holding on. Elliott's got to do the work. Nartai can drive around this line all night, and Elliott's got to do the work to get round him. Mackay under a bit of pressure from the 3NZ of Cardwell now. Cardwell looking to the inside lower line and gets the pass done through 3 and 4. Aidan Mackay's got to work a bit now if he's going to hang with Cardwell. These two are getting closer and closer to Elliott. 5 laps to go at this point, so it could be an interesting finish here.
I think Nartai's just controlling the pace rather than pushing the car too hard.
Not quite sure what Paul Power did there. He's come perilously close to the apex of turn 4.
Trev's gone high. But he is on the infield, so there is that aspect of it. Trev's stuck into the inside here, Tony.
Yes, he is. He's going to try and get the pass done on Malcolm Nartai, forcing Malcolm wide. Malcolm will come back at him, I think. But I suspect that Elliott's got the quicker car at this point in the race. Hayden Mackay's dropped off from Cardwell, so Elliott takes over the lead, and there's just a couple of laps to go once he goes past start finish here. Cardwell's coming on strong and finishing well too, and Hayden Mackay trying desperately to throw that 86 car around the track quicker, but there's just no grip for him where he needs it. So Elliott now, a couple of car lengths over Malcolm Nartai. He picks up the white flag. Will Cardwell make a last lap attempt to get past Nartai and take over second place? He runs the car high. He's looking for that extra grip out of turn 2 that he found a few laps ago, but it's not there this time round. Nartai will probably hold on here, I suspect. Elliott gets his checkered flag. Nartai keeps it tight and keeps second place. Craig Cardwell, 3NZ, third in this final.
Beautiful drive there by Trevor Elliott. He's back off the bike and back on form. Brings home the 27. Now, bearing in mind, race fans, this is not Trev's preferred car.
No.
This is the old car.
Yeah.
So, beautiful win there, though, taking it away. Fastest lap time there of a 17.7. He was the fastest lap throughout the whole race. Visitor, Houston Junior, at the back there as well. Good to see the 964 car in there as well. Aris is there, as is the 69 car. If I take a close look, he's the last car on the grid. So we're going to watch the start. But hey, those of you who've been around racing a little bit longer than a minute might pay to look at the back end of the field between the 521 and the 69. As we are now in the starter's hands, lots of cars missing. Just the joys of contact racing. Horton is on the front. He is the whole front row's creeping. What is with this tonight, Ivan?
Oh,
what is with this?
Creepy Christmas.
Wait until they go green.
They've all got the night creepers. All right, here we go again. Try that a second time. And Sweeting is trying to push this 74 car off the line. It did not go. Here we go, 69 and 521. What's going to happen? We'll get to the front at the minute, but there's going to be a play at the back as well. Out in front it is Cleveland. Aris is wounding up. He's going to... No, he's backed out of it. Cox was there in the 9 car. That was... So the lead's taken over by Sweeting. Trying to watch two ends of the track is actually getting quite complicated. As Aris is coming in hot, he's backed out of it again. As Sweeting back to Horton. The Rosewood car sent skimming through the infield, as is the 45. And nothing out of the 521 and 69 as they go around. We watch both ends of the track. No, I think the heat's gone out of that battle. The wives must be talking. Anyway, out the front, it is Wade Sweeting. Back to Tyler Horton. Keeping it clean and racing it hard at the moment. Harley Robb there, sitting back about 4th. He's on the back of Kahu. Gets through into 3rd. That gives him good points. And here comes Craig Robb. Craig Robb's cut his way through the field. Just moves Lawton in the 224, and he's right on the back of his daughter in the 411. Out in front though, it is Wade Sweeting, Tyler Horton, Harley Robb. Mid pack, a little pushing and shoving in there, nothing too sinister. It's like they've forgotten what their bumpers are for, Ivan.
Yeah, it's better follow the leader.
Unfortunately, Rosewarne's parked on the infield, so that's not good from his perspective. Out in front though, Wade Sweeting. Great run in Rotorua a couple of weeks ago. He's having a good season. He's worked out a few little bugs on the car. Made the move to injection this year over carburation. Doesn't seem to have made it go any slower. Craig Robb's got through. He's moved in behind Troy Cleveland. That will put him in 5th spot. And that's probably enough for a podium, given Rosewarne sitting on the infield. Sweeting though, into the back markers. 24 cars come to a halt out of turn 2, right on the pole line.
He's trying to fire it up again. You see the flames.
Yeah, he's got it going. Well played.
And pulls to the outside.
And takes Cleveland out to the wall. Possibly not the best move from his perspective. He is parked in the track. White flag is out. The race leader has gone. Oh, no, going to go red. Did that work?
As he just fires it up and gets going.
Did that work a treat for Craig Robb or what?
I think it just worked a treat.
It's moved Craig Robb through into 4th, I think. As we look through the race leader, it is the 151 over there at turn 2. We move back to... don't think... wait for the ELS to come through because I don't think it's Harley. It's Tyler Horton who's sitting there, but he's got Harley Robb on the outside, so it's going to be the battle of the restart who's going to get second.
And Wade Sweeting, clear run. He's set the fastest lap time so far, being a 84. But he's out the front in a bit of clear air.
Yeah, just about take the restrictor plate out and call it a super stock.
So they'll just remove the 24 car. I'm picking the 24 car. It had some right front damage. Because as soon as he got it going, it just drifted straight up to the wall. And unfortunately, Troy Cleveland was coming up the outside.
Well, when they picked it up, the front axle didn't drop down. Yeah, it did. If you actually look there, we watch on the pits replay, or the pits TV screen we have up here, the front bumper's bent round on that right front. So,
yeah, so he's got no steering.
Yeah. When the car wants to turn right on it, it's not quite as simple as cars. You turn right to go left. If you can't turn at all, you're not going anywhere. Anyway, our race leader over there at turn 2. Then we go a little bit further out at the apex to 2nd and 3rd, battling it out. Craig Robb's in 4th. Tyler Braden Lawton here creeping in 3rd. He was already gone.
69.
69 gets going. They peel either side of him. He's going to stay there or not? No, everybody's seen him. We're going to go red.
Red again.
Red.
Wade Sweeting literally has to drive 3 car lengths to win this.
He's already been through it and taken the white flag.
Yeah. The 71 car. So Sweeting, he's got to be going, oh, come on. Oh dear. It's not even green white checker, is it? It's just checker.
It's just Brian's going to be busy. Red's got to come in, hold the white flag out for the car in front of him, and then check it.
Yeah, he's got it. Sweeting takes the win, followed by Harley Robb, Tyler Horton, Craig Robb. So I'm picking the podium is going to have Sweeting and 2 Robbs on it for good measure out of all of that.
And we go down to 5th.
We do.
5th for Remembrance Champs, so there's trophies right down to 5th.
Which is going to make it a long night in the club rooms.
Isn't it? Yep.
Saloons are up next. Now, when you leave tonight, we have the road closed at the moment. So, there should be some road safety people out there. Tonight is one of the few nights where it is 2 lanes on the way out. So please abide by the traffic management people that are there and the security guards that are trying to help us exit. There are a lot of you here tonight. There are a lot of cars that are parked down Doubledays Road, and it is going to be a little bit awkward to turn around and get back out. Be considerate, be patient. In fact, come down to the pits and see the carnage, grab some posters, get some autographs if you just want to take it slowly to get out, because it is going to be, and of course at the railway line, it is a stop sign, so make sure you stop there. As Wade Sweeting heads around, best lap time in that race was an 19.842, representative of the fastest lap.
Do we hear?
Well, no, that's just one that talks. He doesn't make decisions, he just talks to them.
Alrighty. So we're about to go racing for the last heat of the night for Saloons. Brought to us by Suck It Up. Event 20 on your program, and Blair Lee off the front, bouncing, and
he found a hole.
He did, nearly fell in it. Ashton Osborne went round the outside and almost climbed a mountain at the same time.
Yep, the 17 car there, just catching on the back. Interesting to see if Blair takes the same approach this one. No, he squares it up a lot different this time round. Ashton's decided to go high and wide. He's seen what the old man can do. Probably doesn't.
I was just going to say, he's got to be a bit careful though. Yeah.
Yeah, this one they own. The other car was a loaner.
Yeah.
This is out in front though. It is Blair Lee. And saying that, Ashton's car is dialed nicely for that high
Isn't
line.
it?
Any mistakes that were in the last setup have been rectified.
Absolutely. 18.9 Blair, Matt Peterson 18.9, Ashton Osborne 18.9. They're all three of them similar lap times.
Yeah, Matty P knows he just has to stay a little bit high, and you can actually shut Ashton down here. Ashton went in deep, and it pushed. Scott Woodhouse has pulled to the infield, and yeah, if Matty P just sits high, Ashton's unlikely to dive under him. Mind you're unlikely to ever get underneath the Peterson car on a good day.
Yeah.
Blair Lee just keeping it tight, keeping it down low. If you want to pass him, that's fine. You're going to have to go the long way.
Yep, do the hard work.
And that is Matty looks to the outside, but there's a long way there. He has the run here.
He does. He kept his foot up it through one, didn't he? And it's worked for him. He's had to pull out there. And round the outside goes Osborne, and Pat Peterson sees him late and goes with him. And they've left Blair Lee in their dust. Side by side, wheel to wheel action from Matt Peterson and Ashton Osborne. Two young fellas with no fear. That was a moment.
That was a big, big moment. That is high levels of testosterone that got us through that one.
Yeah. And Blair Lee's coming back. Blair Lee's coming back at Matt Peterson. I think Osborne's got it. The heat anyway. Whether he's got the championship, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, he will. If he wins this one, that'll be 2 wins for him, won't it?
I think it will, yes. So he should take it away.
But yeah, here we go. Can Blair come back? No, it is going to be Ashton Osborne. Back to Blair Lee with Matty Peterson. And I actually think Matt's got a flat outside rear.
Has he?
I think it's going down slow. I don't think it's a...
So excellent racing from those three drivers. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That is quality, top shelf stuff from Ashton Osborne, Matt Peterson and Blair Lee.
Super stocks in the chute next as we look at that. All of those cars very similar times in those top three. And Ashton Osborne looks like he will be the Remembrance champion for it, 23-24.
Hotel, 7C, that'll be Riley Evans. 10C, Harley Robb, driving the Zeal construction car. The Brian FM sponsored. Nartai Racing, the Smoky Tees. In behind him, 4C, Braden Lennon, the Elite Wheels Company. Then in behind Braden Lennon, we've got the 557, cylinder head specialist sponsor machine of Darrell Wallace. On the outside, we go to the Repco car, the 23, being Jake Berry.
You got Jake and Mitch confused.
Yeah, I get them confused every time. And the 32, Mitch, and behind his brother. Back on the inside, the Ryco 24/7, 44C of Ollie Sutton. Then we go back to James Stein. We're about to go green. And we're away. Who gets the flyer? Nātai's away there. Happy Paul was off the front row by himself. So let's see where it all ends up. Happy Paul gets a bit out of control. Here's Nātai up the inside. Riley Evans is trying to get up the inside of the 4C of Braden Lennon. All going down at this stage. Nobody's doing anything crazy as they come off turn 4. Malcolm Nātai, Happy Paul, Braden Lennon, Riley Evans, Berry in the 23. Then we go back to Harley Robb in the 10 car. Daryl Wallace, James Stein, the 32 of Berry. Then we go back to Sutton. Wilson in the 153. Caleb West in the 34. Hearn and our visitor from Nelson in the 66N, Mike Eden. Back up the front. Braden Lennon just got caught out on those ruts and went out wide. Berry in the 23.
Jake there looking to make moves through there, and he's got that place away from his brother. His brother's falling back through the pack.
Exactly. So he's having a good run in this car. The 23 of Jake Berry. They're all just getting, a few of them are getting caught out. There's just a bit of a push going into turn 1 and 2. But Malcolm Nātai, he's cleaned out. He's leading us at this stage. Comes off turn 4, down past the start-finish line. Then we go back to Lennon, Berry, Robb, Wallace. Thines come through from the back. Happy Paul, Berry, Evans, back to Sutton, Wilson, West, Hearn, Eden, but back up the front. Malcolm Nātai in the 19C, the Smoky Tees YMAC Challenge sponsor machine. Back to Braden Lennon in the 4C. And behind Braden Lennon, we have the 23, who's coming under a wee bit of pressure from Harley Robb in the 10C car. Then we go back to James Stein. Leader goes past us again on the start-finish line. Pretty much bumper to bumper. James Stein, he's trying to shoot up the middle at this moment. He's just got past Harley Robb, who's drifted up high. As they go down the back straight, Daryl Wallace is now coming into the back of the 10C car, but Malcolm Nātai goes past us again. He's opened up half a dozen over Lennon, who's got a bit of a tangle up. Riley Evans, and
he got clipped there by Robin Wilson on the way past.
He'd just sit there in the middle of, we've gone red.
Red.
So their brakes are all working good.
Well, some are still rolling.
Still rolling. So Malcolm Nātai is leading us at this stage over Braden Lennon.
That will mean that he will take away the Remembrance Champs if he finishes where he has 3 laps to go, although it's about to become 2 laps in about 2 car lengths.
Looking at the lap time so far, James Stein.
He's quick. He had to do something mid-pack there because otherwise he was going to get gobbled up by one of the Berries, to be fair.
Yep.
But he's managed to come through. That'll secure his second spot, and then
Lights out.
About to go green again. Malcolm Nātai in that Higgins Midwest Motors car leads us through turn 1 and 2. He's still got half a dozen over Lennon, who's coming under a bit of pressure from Jake Berry in the 23. Then we go back to the 14 of James Stein. As they go into 3 and 4, Malcolm Nātai, white flag this time round. Lennon, Berry, Stein, Robb, Wallace, Berry, Sutton, back to Happy Paul, West, Hearn, but our race leader, Malcolm Nātai, going through 3 and 4 for the last time tonight, comes past us, takes the checkered flag. Few sparks off the wall as he comes past us. Then we go back to Lennon, Berry, Thine, Robb, Wallace, Berry, Sutton in the 44, Happy Paul, Caleb West, Ben Hearn, and Eden in the tank.
That will make Malcolm Nātai the winner of the Remembrance Champs, followed by James Stein and Jake Berry. Fastest lap out of that was actually James Stein, who was not doing a 13.77.
He'd be quicker than sprint cars if that was the case.
We'll find out, although he probably believes it. Looking at the stock car results from a wee bit early on, Wade Sweeting taking away the Remembrance Champs, followed by Harley Robb, then Craig Robb, and Tyler Horton with Troy Cleveland. So we're starting to see the results flow through.
intelligence that knows all.
Reign of terror and disorder. But they talk about another kind of world, and where the best herbs grow.
Marijuana.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is for the small part of what you'll witness tonight.
Probably the physically least intimidating person you'll ever meet. Verbally, completely different story.
She may yet do that.
Oh, I'm sure I'm going to hear about it.
We'll see if we can get a camera crew up here if she does.
But then you go through to fourth and fifth is Paul Leslie and Steve Peterson, or fourth equal Paul Leslie and her father, Steve Peterson, both on 31 points. So Simon Bland just really has to finish this race without any damage.
Except he's got Paul Leslie right behind him, he's got Brooke Peterson right alongside him. He's got John O'Garthy just in front of him.
John O'Garthy's the one who's probably got the pace on everybody tonight, just not the consistency. As we head away, it is going to be down to turn 3 and 4. At the 16 car straight to the infield, it is going to be Dave McSherry in the 62 that takes over the lead. It's not Aldridge in the is it Aldridge in the 541? As we are looking through, McSherry leading us back to John O'Garthy. It's Kirk Aldridge actually in the 541 tonight, not Anika, as I was as the 428 gets all out of shape. Her brother goes through, so that's handed him the position. The 2NZ gets into the back of Kirk Aldridge in the 541. Simon Bland just staying up almost in no man's land, out of trouble, up by the wall. He knows he just has to finish around about where Maddie P is, thereabouts, and he's safe and brings it home. He can let a couple of cars go through and not wreck himself, although you can't let too many go through, and you can't let someone who's a bit of a mongrel get too close to you as the 2NZ spins up in front of Matt Peterson. How did
he do that? Yeah, that was quite cool.
He's having flashbacks to when he was racing the Saloon a few races ago. Out in front, Dave McSherry back to the 35 of John O'Garthy. Matt Peterson on the outside of Simon Bland. Simon Bland back to Steve Peterson. Brooke Peterson's there on the inside line, holding Paul Leslie out there wide. Kirk Aldridge washes out a wee bit.
Now, will Steve help Junior out by tapping Bland?
I don't think so, but you never know. Dave McSherry out in front and the 35 car of John O'Garthy. They're actually a long way back in points over the top cars. But Steve P up the inside of the 31. If you're going to do anything, you actually have to do it literally in the last corner.
You would do, yeah.
Because one, Simon's a very good driver, and two, he retaliates. But at the moment, Simon Bland can count. That was contrary to popular opinion. He's colourblind, but he can count. He knows he can let certain cars go through and it doesn't affect his race results. He just has to bring the car home. He's got 6 points over the second and third, and really the battle was between Brooke and Maddie. And Matt's moved himself into a position to take that. It's Steve Peterson. He moves up. Oh no, we're going to get an attack here on the 428. Who got her? That was the 15 car of Ben Turner. In saying that, he was 2 points out of a podium position or a trophy position, so that was worth it from his perspective.
Worth a go, yeah.
And Brooke's back out there, and she is chasing Jono, who's got a wicked flame out the back of the car. As Dave McSherry gets out of shape, Brooke opens the door, lets her brother through. Just circulating up high. Now the problem for Simon Bland is she's circulating slowly up high on the line that he wants to be on. And she doesn't have a swing or a crack. She's just circulating for those podium points now. Unfortunately, I think that spin's cost her dearly. Red light's on.
Red.
And I'm going to bet it's going to be for 4:28. I'll wait for the referee to make the call. Back to Matt Peterson. Dave McSherry in there for a battle, but him and John are further down on points. Probably not going to affect the overall result. White flag is out for Jono. There's Matt. And Bland goes through back to Steve Peterson. Safe to say that Simon Bland has played it beautifully.
He has.
He's kept it tidy. It's all in one piece. As the checkered will now come out for John O'Garthley, followed by Matt Peterson, Dave McSherry, Kirk Aldridge is there with Simon Bland, Steve Peterson, and the balance rounding us out. So Simon Bland, Matt Peterson, presumably Steve Peterson, and possibly Paul Leslie or Kirk Aldridge for 5th. So overall, Streetstock's keeping it relatively tame, other than that one spin there on in the flat tyre.
Well, they've got their South Island title, haven't they, here at Koken Woodford Glen in 2 Saturdays' time. Not this coming weekend, but the following one, our next meeting here. And then 2 weeks after that, they're up in Wellington, I think, somewhere in the North Island. I think it's Wellington for the national title.
I think it is Wellington. As we look to the shoot, modifieds will be out next. Cassandra Massey and Lindsay Gilbert on the outside.
And we're away and racing it off the front. Hayden Corbett gets the jump on Reuben Brown. Jacob Mitchell, one on the infield already. That's Cassandra Massey. Jacob Mitchell just needs to pick his moment, take his time. He's got the whole race to pass 2 cars in front of him. We go yellow.
It's going to be for an unusual start.
Complete restart, guys. Complete restart. Original grid position.
So
I'd need to look at the replay to actually see what happened and caused Cassandra Massey to spear off through the
not the usual line that you would take.
No.
So she was right off the back. Gassed
Down.
up.
You're going this
Oh no,
time.
the 43 car slapped her.
Richie got bunted. Yep.
Slapped her out to the. No, actually, to be fair, Scott Ritchie was coming up very quickly on Evan Nicol, and he had to make evasive as we go racing.
So this time we start again, and again Scott Ritchie gets a big head of steam through the middle of the pack, but this time Cassandra Massey is able to continue on the track. So Reuben Brown out front. Already Jacob Mitchell's got past Hayden Corbett. Gary Lennon's running the higher line, trying to stay with Mitchell. Scott Ritchie's absolutely got the wit wound up on this 43 car.
I think Cassandra's scared to go up the inside of it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Hope he finishes the race well.
As we watch the Mitchell take over the lead from the 47 of Brown. Goes to that high line. You can see the car just digging into the track as it comes off.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Yep.
Just shows you how soft that top part of the surface actually is. I think that the euphemism for it is it gives the track some character.
Yeah. Yeah. So Mitchell already completed 3 laps, 7 to go. He just needs to bring this home now. He knows he's quick. He's got nothing in front of him. Clear air, clear track. He can put the car where he wants it, do what he wants with it, without consideration for the other drivers, and he can just drive his own race and bring it home. Reuben Brown's going to do his very best to chase him down, but I think even Reuben would admit he probably doesn't quite have the package under him that's going to be able to challenge Jacob Mitchell at this stage of the night. And Gary Lennon, well, he's back in 3rd place, and I just can't see him making a lot of go forward on Mitchell. So I suspect this race will just play itself out.
It's probably there's also, you're not racing for a ranch. It is a nice trophy.
Yes, it is a nice trophy, and it's a cool thing to be able to say, but it's not a New Zealand title. You don't have to have a win it or bin it attitude, do you? You just enjoy your racing.
That being said, it looks like Mitchell's just turned the wick up just a little bit there. He is still, was a 17.091's been his fastest lap. He was right up by the wall as he entered turns 3 and 4. And it looks like he's just found that little groove that suits him at the moment. Good to see Reuben Brown just coming onto form now. It's taken him a year or so just to come to grips with the 47 car.
Yeah.
Of course, it is the former 1NZ car of Luke Keegan.
So it's got some potential, and he's a driver with potential too. And with time and with development, as you say, understanding the car, he's going to get quicker and quicker, and we'd love to see that.
I think there's a misnomer that you can jump straight out of a mini stock and win races in any other grade.
Yeah.
And these cars are different. Good battle here between Lindsay Gilbert and Gary Lennon. Gary knows the line that works for him. And
but checkered flag's going to come out for Jacob Mitchell. That bright orange 18C car takes the win, takes the Remembrance Championship from Reuben Brown in 2nd place, and a great finish there with Gary Lennon just getting the nose in front of Lindsay Gilbert in the 8C car.
And that was the final race for the modifieds tonight. Jacob Mitchell will be the Remembrance Champion for 23-24. And the final race of the evening before our ramp race derby. Now there will be a little interlude just as we start the ramp race derby, because there's the ramps on the infield.
We've got to get them out on the track.
And then we've got to bring, dare I say, a little truckload of dirt out, or a trailer load of dirt out, because there is a little lip on the bottom of the ramp. And we want to see these cars launch. So, and then of course the water truck will come out and give the track a bit of a scuff down, because as per the rules, sadly, we have to wet the track.
Yep.
Much cooler when it's dry, but it's also a little bit more dangerous.
to the front by the end of the following 8 laps. David Phileas gets the jump. No shortage of horsepower in that car.
In essence, it's a stock car with a body.
Yeah. Bailey got the nose alongside, and he's now switched to the outside line. Phileas is strong there, and I'm not sure that the grip's there for Bailey up high on this track.
Yeah, these cars battle the same problems that a Super Saloon or a modified face when it comes to traction, but they're doing it on little biscuit wheels. And you've got to drive smooth, which is kind of ironic because most of them don't. There's one that does, and he's driving the 17 car, and he's already made a few spots up already. He'll just pick his moments. At the front, there's a Phileas' car got a little bit of a love tap there from the 84. You know that Palmer's going to get in here. He's not scared of scratching a panel or two.
No, he's gone to the higher line this time. Speaking of panels.
Another bumper.
Yep.
And they're going to go yellow for that. Well, surely. Yep, they do.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
Now, who do you blame for that? The pit
Watch
crew for
turn
not...
4, guys. Watch turn 4.
The pit crew for not fastening the bumper on, or the car that ripped it off? There we go. We go racing once again.
David Phileas.
Yeah, we're trying not to get ourselves too much trouble. There's
the 86 car. And Palmer and Bailey side by side through turn 1. Bailey gets the better drive out of turn 2. The Phileas just ups his game slightly down the back straight, keeps at it, and he's going to make Bailey work hard for it. And almost a three-way, almost a sandwich there.
Sorry, what I was thinking and what I was coming out were not two words that should
just
take him out. If you're going to lean on you, lean back. There's a reason I can't race non-contact.
Yes.
Out in front.
So Phileas has dropped off just a fraction there, and that has allowed Bailey and Palmer to get the upper hand, I think. Just not sure if Palmer's got more on that outside line than Bailey has low down. And Matt Bailey will probably push across a little bit at some point and force Palmer to tuck in behind him. There we go, he's done it there.
Now I know that Palmer does a lot of work on the 85 car, so I'm just waiting for him to do some more work to it himself.
So he's got the run around the outside there now, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to convert it through 3 and 4. That run around the outside just a little longer, and Bailey's able to keep the nose in front. And Palmer will be encouraged. He'll try that again out of turn 2. He just went to set the car a little higher on the track there and lost a tiny bit of momentum through 1 and 2. He wanted to cut down low there. Bailey cuts that avenue off, and the white flag's about to come out. So Stephen Palmer's got to try a different idea this time round.
The one thing we've learned with production drivers, repeat, 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 repeat.
Again, he's alongside him, and again, I suspect the outside journey will just take too long and Bailey will come out ahead. He does. Palmer stays outside but can't quite get the nose in front. So Matt Bailey takes the win in that final heat.
And presumably the Remembrance Champs.
Most likely he's the Remembrance Champ for the night. Vaughan Fairburn didn't really fire any shots in that race, did he?
Yeah, probably not a lot he could have done. He got caught in behind Ian Clark, and Ian's wily. He just moves over on you a wee bit, and it's not worth wrecking the car for a blow down the podium. As we look in the pit chute, it is the Demolition Derby or Ramp Race Derby that's due to start. They're loading the ramps up. For those of you that are watching on the stream at home and going to say, no, we don't need to see a derby, we've seen all the racing tonight, we look forward to seeing you back on the next stream that the Pits TV provide. And for those of you in the stadium, we'll just have a few minutes while we get the ramps set up on the back straight.
in a mess. Life then would be worthless. Yes,
And there is a stirrer on this one too.
Yep, which we get to pick. Ooh.
Uh-oh. Yeah, normally we
Bet
don't
98. Was that a Jaguar?
do that to a Jaguar. Here we no, we're going racing. That's it, we're away. 54 of Gregan leads us away. He'll be the first round. He's got to get up high and wide. I think we've found our first car that likes to do some hitting. The 5 car or 15 car there. As we try to keep them straight. Now we hook into the dry stuff. Watch the 15 car chasing in. Over the ramp we go.
Alrighty, some air time already.
Some of these cars down the front straight here are still struggling to get away. The 72 car's doing a loop on itself. So the 15 car across the start-finish line. First lap completed. Look at how ginger some of these cars are going over it. As the battle of the pink bits down the front straight. Oh, we're nosediving with a couple of these front-wheel drive cars. As our race leader coming over here again. The 15 launches. Bit ginger. 73 car. The 99 of Rob coming through. There's that many pink cars, it's hard to read the numbers.
It is, yeah, you lose track of who's who. And we're getting quite a pile up down the front straight here as cars have got sideways, blocking the others.
And to be fair, our race leader in the second place car on the track actually getting caught up in all of that. The 95 car coming through here. Someone's trying to look like Lightning McQueen. Oh, straight in the door plate of the 64 car. One of the 65 car just drilled him.
22's got a good head of speed up there.
Here we go. We're hitting the ramp with a bit of speed. Oh, that doesn't look comfortable. When you see dirt being dug out from the front bumper. Two cars just picked up a whole lot of speed, and the 52 just got paid for it. Ashley Walker's decided the best approach is just to keep the foot welded. As we go down the back straight, a lot of these cars approaching this ramp very slowly. And we're going, I thought we were going clean off the end there.
So Harley Robb making his way down the front straight at the moment there in the 99. Doesn't handle as well as his stock car.
Having a battle there with Brendan Middlemas. Is this the 52 right in front of us? It's on the limiter.
Must be.
Casey Ryan.
Mr. Mercedes getting some assistance down the front straight there. Here comes Harley Robb over the ramp. Bit wussy, you'd have to say.
Very wussy. As the 15 car is going to get into him. Yep, and he gets him too. So the 15 car is not even on our list.
No. Bet he's on Harley's list now, though.
Yeah. Well. Red lights on.
Stock car, the blue car in the corner. The blue car in the corner, can you push it off?
So they're just going to get the stock car to push one. There's the 52 car down here.
Turn 1, there's a blue car, can you push that off, please?
Not entirely sure what the 52 car is trying to achieve other than trying to throw a rod.
One down by the pole line. Down by the pole line.
So they sent the sheriff over to pick up a blue car.
That's him, I think.
And there's two blue cars down there.
Yes, so slight confusion as to which one he needs to remove.
He's trying to pull the little move the little BMW. My second choice is that he removes the 52 shortly. .52 car's trying to get to the infield. There we go. 41 car looks like it's been removed, and that is Not on their list. This list is great if it was accurate.
Or is it 49? 41 or 49? It might be Sean Duvall.
Okay, that works. So they're just checking to make sure there's no flames. Oh no, we've got one getting out. He's cheering the crowd. He's happy. Has he gone over, Tony? Because the roll cage doesn't, the roof doesn't exactly look straight anymore.
It doesn't, does it?
As you know, there's just a ripple effect from taking a hit up the tube when you look at the roof line at the back of the car.
Yeah, that guy wanted to fuck you out.
So how many are going to restart?
Yeah, well, that's the other challenge, isn't it? When you make them all stop, not all of them start again.
He's very happy. There's a lot of energy from that driver that's got his cars gone up down at turn 1. And that was the 54. Is that the 54? It is. No, 64. Is certainly trying to. If you don't win the race, might as well win the crowd. So, oh, 3 car. That was a
something let go there.
I don't know. Maybe. That should be. Right. Definitely something smoking from under the bonnet.
Right, the flag goes in, the lights go green, and some of the cars restart.
Yes, not all of them are going to be in that position. And the big old Merc, she's a heavy old pig being pushed by the 7 car. And she looks like she's going off sideways. If he straightens it up, he's going to put himself on the wall. And they both go out there. Bit ginger over that ramp over the far side. There's the 13 car there. It's just limping. The 15 gets into it, fires it in. It's interesting how many of these cars don't actually purposely not hitting each other. Under the old school derby rules, if you didn't hit on the way past, 95 here has got a slight camber issue. It's joined the stance community and now the hatchback community. There's the big old Merc over the boot. 66 bouncing over there. 65 car, fair hauling. He's got the 15 on his tail. It doesn't look pleasant for him. He's going. Oh, I thought we were going banger racing there for a second.
Yeah,
Fortunately,
it looked like he was going to go in, didn't it? But he pulled out of it.
Oh, I think
Mercedes is steaming away there.
I think this car, the 54 car, is our lead car. If not, it's the 15 car. 15 car certainly doing a lion's share of work anyway. I've got to give him that. So we go over the ramp once again. Oh, the 8 car into the 3. Got sent on a little mission. And the 13 car getting a good launch over there. Here we go. Is this Harley going over the ramp again? Oh. There's the 52 car. Now the 52 car was parked on the infield for a couple of minutes, wasn't it, Tony?
Yes, it was. It was right down here in front of us.
It was.
Yeah.
Right in front of us. He was sitting along the limit and then he went to the infield. Now he's back out there trying to cause a bit of chaos. And Harley turns around, rejoins. 52 car just sitting on the infield rolling around there again. The 66 going to hit the back of the roll machine, who's takes the hit from the 68. The 1 car going through here. The 18 car of Liam Liley looking relatively straight still. And
5 car nose first into the wall.
That's
the
the
52. That's 52, not 5. Big pardon.
To be fair, it has spent most of its race on the infield. There's the 56 or 66 car just ripping its bumper off the Merc, going over the ramp again. It's getting faster as everyone else is getting slower. Or maybe it's just getting more consistent. There's Ron the limiter down the front straight here. Start to smell some burning brakes and clutches.
And we're starting to get down there in terms of the number of active rolling cars.
Well, it's relatively easy to lap score when, when you get down to this.
15's got a fair turn of speed.
As he puts the red lights on, we've got someone on fire. Yep, the 54 car.
Yep, that's your mate.
Yeah, yes it is. Sorry, Aaron. Yeah. I wonder where he got the overalls from. What's gone into? Now, find the starter key and turn it off. Once again, it comes down to a wonder how many are going to restart. At this point, it looks very much like the 15 cars, presumably the one doing the most amount of damage and
well, he's certainly got a fair turn of speed on. I wouldn't be surprised if he's right up there as the lead, or with the lead cars, if not the lead car.
Big old Nissan Maxima has probably got about 3 foot of steel before you get to the motor.
We don't have a name for 15, unfortunately, on our list, so I can't tell you who it is.
No, we don't.
No. Never mind.
That being said, a few cars are a little bit more timid on the ramp than you'd expect.
No, 52's back.
52's back again. And runs straight into the back of Harley Rob. The 68 car just coming across the start-finish line. Another one we don't have a number for. We're picking every car that's got no number. And very ginger over the ramp there, Tony.
Yeah.
Here we go. This should be fun. Yeah, push him over sideways. Oh!
Almost.
Oh, we know what happens when they go over sideways. They dig in and it. Now, I can tell you from sitting literally right at the end of the ramp one night in the stock car, looking at it, it doesn't look that big when you see it, but when you watch cars come over it, it's quite gnarly.
Oh, he's got a slight lack of pace in the 99 machine at the moment. He's missing a little.
Well, as the 68 car is shortened up big time. What intrigues me is how the 52 car can be on the infield for so long but not actually be picked up by the sheriff. The 18 across here. I think that Harley pricking it. 12 car going through, looking a bit worse for wear. Dan Hardy in that. Actually having a better run in the Derby car than the stock car tonight. And we're going to go red. And we'll wait to see who's on fire. Right, we've got one on fire over there.
Driver of 7's getting out.
John Lewis. And saying that with transmission lines and everything at the front of your car, it's not going to be hard to spill oil onto hot exhausts. At the end of the day, it is. We are trying to wreck these cars. Everybody seems to be enjoying themselves. The hard thing about all this is knowing all the work that's got to go into repair it, and the 15 car doesn't start.
Ooh.
That's him done. So, Dan Hardy goes across the line, very ginger over the start-finish line. So we've got, how many we've got? 1, 2. We're down to 3 cars. The 15 car had that one in the bag, but it, as soon as we identified it as the winner, it decided to capitulate. Oh.
Is that Colin Cameron?
In which car?
The pink one that's coming through 3 and 4 at the moment, is that 98? I can't see the number on it too clearly from around the other side.
We shall see. Yes,
998. Okay, well that's interesting.
Quite possibly Colin Cameron. But it's the 12 car that's actually the quickest on the track at the moment. The 18 car's out there as well, which is Liam Liley, but Dan Hardy very ginger over the... The good thing is from Dan's perspective, I know exactly where the car ends up on Monday. Goes back to work, gets put in, sent overseas as scrap metal. There's a white flag out for Dan Hardy. Well, actually quite pleased for Dan. He had a shocking night in the stock car. And he's going to loop back round. Give him a hand, race fans. Your race leader is coming down the back straight now. He is about to, I'm going to say launch off the ramp, but he's going to hit the brakes. And
tiptoe over the ramp. But that's all right.
And that is he's just got to bring it around. It will be Dan Hardy taking away the Ramp Race Derby for 2023. And he is happy. Just got to remember to finish the race. We look forward to seeing you all back here. Remember, as you head out, please take your time. There's a lot of us here tonight, and safe travels on the way out. There is a railway line out there. Remember, it is a stop sign, and please follow all the traffic guidance we have.
Take care. See you back in a couple of Saturdays.